Good evening, welcome back. A few of you here at least. Excuse me. A good way to start a stream here by getting something stuck in my throat. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're ready for some FMV goodness tonight. But hopefully everyone's had a good week so far, a good retro week perhaps. Who knows? But I'm not sure if Eric or BLT are here still from earlier, but there was some professed love for this game, which, Evening Bluebeard. This is an interesting one, to say the least. I have been a little hesitant to play FMV games, even though that there were a million of them in the mid-90s, and everyone was realizing, like, hey, we have CD-ROM now. We can have as much space or whatever as we want, right? And that cost a little bit of a, gold rush, if you will, to create all these full-motion video games. And I'm sure many of you can think of many different ones that were pretty notorious, right? But it's an interesting era, yeah, because I mean, it felt like the storage space was limitless, right, for a while there. Being able to have basically however much video, whatever you wanted on a CD-ROM, coming from floppies. So you think about it, like there was no possibility of having like full motion video on floppy level. You'd have to have so many floppies, which is why they were usually quote unquote 2D animated stuff. So, Eating Revenant, welcome. Uh-oh, we're in that territory, yeah. I hear you. I'll tell what everyone else says too. That have older kids, it gets better. Eventually, it gets better, and they eventually sleep better. But yeah, FMV games were kind of crazy, and I've been a little hesitant to stream them because there's so much video, right? And I'll try and make it entertaining anyway. But it means that tonight we're gonna watch quite a bit of video, and Under Killing Moon is a basic point-and-click adventure game with a lot of FMVs in it. So I'm sure many of you have seen or heard of it or be aware of it. It's the Tex Murphy series of games that started with the Martian Memorandum, which is pretty hard to find nowadays. And when you do find it, it's probably pretty expensive. But there's multiple other ones. Actually, a new one came out not too long ago, the Tesla Effect, I think, which I got on Steam dirt cheap. I haven't even played it yet, but I do have a big box for this. And this is actually not my original box. I ended up with just like, so the CD, this is on 4 CDs, which is the big thing for the mid 90s, right? How many CDs are your game on? And some of them were just ridiculous, like a Phantasmagoria, right? It's on 7 CD or something like that, right? So um yeah, that's not necessarily a bad idea. It is the season for it. The FMV FM October, Femtober, something like that. But in this particular case, this came on 4 CDs. So I have CD1 in there now, and 4 CDs. And this is my original. But then for some reason, I don't know what happened. At some point, the original box was lost in the shuffle at some point. And I found this on eBay then, which was just a box only with the contents without the CD. I'm like, perfect. So I bought that pretty cheap. So it kind of rounded out the collection. But it doesn't make any... It's not trying to hide. It is literally interactive movie at the top here. Featuring, of course, the voice of James Earl Jones. They have it listed here as Star Wars, in case you were wondering where he was at. So, oh goodness. Now, that's, Matthew, that's the problem with these kind of games, is once you get really complicated, I will probably never, ever, ever stream Myst, because I would just get stuck immediately and get frustrated and not be able to get anywhere, and then we'd all have a bad time. So, these games, at least, you can kind of fumble your way through. Plus, there actually is a built-in hint system, which is a really cool thing. But yeah, that was pretty unique too. A lot of games came, of course, in like those big, thicker, multi-CD cases. But in this case here, it has this fold-out little soft case, which is pretty nice. The interior side here is actually pretty padded to hold a CD, so that is nice. Yeah, I'm not sure how they managed to get him to sign on to this. And they also have, among others, Margot Kidder, which is from Fame of Superman. Yes, the leading lady in Superman. And you'll see a lot of that kind of stuff happening in the game, and they'll even mention him by name. So I suppose I don't know if this is complete, but it just has the CD and then the manual. So also a registration card. It is missing now. The manual itself was pretty thin as well, black and white. We'll go into the game settings, but it's mostly just like how to maneuver in the game, because the game has a very interesting setup where you basically have both FMVs, of course, and then you have a interactive mode where you can move around a sort of like a room and do things. And what you're seeing right now is actually the main menu up here. We'll get to that in a second here. Yeah, that's right. We have more people like that. Yeah, Russell Means, Brian Keith, and Margot Kidder are in this one. And I do have, the only other big box of Tex Murphy I have is this one, which is Overseer, which is more of a little bit later game. This actually is one of the first ones on DVD. You may see this one here soon in another video. I'm hoping to post it this weekend. We shall see if I get it to out. Hopefully it comes out on Saturday. I have a little bit of editing to do left, and that game may be featured there. Yeah, then I think Family Guy made fun of that. I didn't keep up on what happened there with her, but yeah, there's some stories there, I suppose. We're gonna hop into the game a little bit, and this is the main menu, which looks kind of weird, doesn't it? They go pretty heavy in trying to make it cool and interactive. Like, this is the auxiliary panel that you control the game through. Try to close it, you see a slide animation. Warning, of course, I have to start a new game first. But we're going to watch the intro and everything too, because it is FMV. It's going to be a lot of watching tonight, so I guess just get popcorn ready. But we can check the configuration options first, because it's pretty broad, and it kind of like, it smacks you in the face here with the many things you can configure. CDI. I don't have a CDI. And unfortunately, CDI is one that is not covered on the Mister yet. I imagine it's just a matter of time before that happens. So, for those wondering then, we are playing tonight on the, I'll do the logo flip around as you can see it. We're playing on the Pentium 166, the classic AST machine that we stream so frequently on DOS, and this is a DOS game. So we are playing out with basically DOS 622 in this case, Windows 95. We're using the AW64 in the Sound Blaster 16 mode. It did not detect it in AudioB32 mode. Doesn't really matter in this game. And this does support MIDI or general MIDI out as well, but I don't know. You kind of want that kind of cheesy, basic ad-lib sound. The music just sounds better, I suppose, or it feels more nostalgic for me. So, yeah, there's that part you can do. There's a lot to goof on the CDI there, of course, because that is a veritable smorgasbord of stuff. CDI is very, very interesting. Yes. This does have MT32 support, but we're not going to use it tonight. Again, I wanted to kind of have that original experience with the just the standard Sound Blaster sound or ad-lib music. Again, we can maybe try it a little bit later if we feel bored, but there's something I'm torn on that, because often when they have like more advanced music support, it's cool and it sounds great and it's a cool way to re-experience it. But if you want raw nostalgia, you kind of need that blaring MIDI playback, right? That you most likely experienced. Brett, welcome. And it just goes too well with it. That's a problem, and I do enjoy messing with that. But then when I want actual nostalgia, then yeah. And we don't need to worry about that. Walking speed is fine. So yeah, you can have hints on, capturing significantly on. You can have to test the transfer speed, and this actually shows on the bottom here, the requirements is 150 kilobyte per second CD-ROM. What they do recommend a double speed is just 300 kilobit per second, and we easily exceed that with our 4-speed CD-ROM. I think that's in here. I'm gonna handle that, but it gives you a lot of option tested here. We're running at a pretty high resolution, which makes the game pretty choppy at times in the interactive movement mode, but it's fine because it's, you're not doing any action sequences, right? So I think there might be some coming up much later in the game, but I don't think we'll get that far. But I do like the setup menu for this game because it gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of options. You can even have multiple drives. If you have multiple drives, you can preload the disks in that. So you don't have to swap them, but we only have one drive, so we definitely do that. But it gives you a ton of different settings and options. So in this case here, we're set where we want to be with the high quality rendering. We are running at a machine that's virtually overpowered. And I played this one on the same AST, except before it was an overdrive, or Pentium 100 is what I played this game on originally, with, whatever Sound Blaster 16 clone that was in there, or Sound Blaster Pro clone that I had in there. So we're going to leave that as this, and we will watch the intro for now. Right size. This is, game runs at 640 by 480.
Found it again, have they? I thought we'd taken care of it.
You get right back in. Or James Earl Jones, I believe, plays basically, more or less God here.
Who have we got lined up to deal with this problem?
Or at least that's what they're hinting at.
Oh no, not Murphy.
And to be fair, he is not like, he's not really phoning it in. He actually is doing quite a good performance here. And I think that's a risk with these FMV games.
Sorry, sir.
Um,
He's next on the list.
Well,
yeah, there was that part. There were still a lot of them that had multiple ones. I would assume that one of those with a 6 changer here would be good, but you'd have to change it all the time. So I imagine if you're a pretty hardcore FMV player or games like this or CD-ROM, um, you would have maybe had multiple drives or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, welcome Ian. I do really like the sharpness and the cool look to it. I feel like that's kind of like a lost art with the setup screens that we had back in the day with DOS. They were all varied. Of course, we need to go watch a little bit here. Random stuff here now. Now, I think this drive is definitely having some issues. I don't remember it was choppy originally, but, you know, it's fine. Imagine we're playing this game back in 1995, 96 or something like that. This is basically maxed out settings, so I wouldn't feel too bad about it being choppy. You have to be realistic with what it looks like. But it may seem like, oh, it's such a small screen or whatever right now, but at the same time, you know, full motion video, seeing it the way we're going to see in this game, was not a given back then. It's like, there was hard, even with...
no pestilence has ever been so fatal or so hideous. Blood was its avatar and its seal.
Children was saying
the
that.
redness and horror of blood.
What a narrator. I mean, his voice is obviously legendary. But it just, you know, for us to live through that era, which I'm guessing most of us did here, just getting into the full motion video era, and all of a sudden you had all these games with these beautifully rendered things, and like, you know, seeing this stuff on screen on a computer was just like mind-blowing. And for me, that first reaction was playing Command & Conquer the first time, seeing the videos there. You know, this is all pre-rendered, of course, and extreme use of green screen, of course. I mean, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing, is seeing those kind of things, yeah, listed everywhere, and it would show like what it would have, how many CD-ROM drives it had, and what it could do. It was a big deal. My first 486, the all-in-one or whatever, and still hunting for that CDS, whatever. There was a focus on multimedia. I had speakers built in, a CD-ROM drive built in. It was like, it was a big deal. The multimedia age had really arrived. And especially back in this era here now, in the early days, where, you know, imagine you were a developer or game developer, and you looked at, like, what can we fit into the game? And all of a sudden, you went from, like, having, you know, even on many floppies, like 10 meg or something, and compressing this all of a sudden, you had 600 plus meg per disc. It was insane. I can only imagine. That's why we saw just the extreme explosion of FMV games all at the same time.
New San Francisco
All of them were jumping onto this.
An island of hollow beauty.
And I mean, yes, it looks cheesy and crummy or whatever. Look at that, like, superimposing here. But I mean, this was a video game, right? This wasn't like a big Hollywood production, right? So, yeah, there is that part. Vibra 16 is what I had as well. Evening BLT, welcome. We're flying our space Lamborghini here through San Francisco or New San Francisco, I can't remember.
My name's Tex Murphy. I'm a
Tex
private
Murphy.
detective. Or at least I used to be.
Yes, the character that you're playing is Tex Murphy,
Much of anything.
the namesake
I
on
went out
the
tonight for
game.
the first time in a week, but all I ended up doing was spending the last of my money on a bottle of cheap bourbon. Now it's past midnight, and I'm staring out of the window of my office.
I know there were
on the second floor
serious
of the Ritz
FMV games
Hotel.
too.
Just like me, the Ritz used to be something.
Little
Now it's just
saxophone
another
there.
grimy building in a rundown part of town.
But
And I'm almost
this is really cool the way they did it, because he's just a huge failure, basically. And they just... I do love the fact that they render one character per... Look at this now. Tex is not moving.
Really hit bottom, didn't you?
And then he'll stop moving, and now the other characters start moving, because they can't do more than one superimposed per scene here. There we go. They can't be next to each other, right? So there's a ton of, like, pausing, and I'm playing. But here we have
I usually don't look this
true
bad.
full motion video, and that's
I
not a
forgot to take
guarantee
my insurance
from
off
this
this
era. And we just, again,
So you
have
want
this
a
game
drink?
now being
Save
run
my
on a
first
computer that's
one to
vastly
have
more
with you.
powerful than when you probably
No,
originally
thanks.
played this on.
I've been dry for 8 years now. Yeah, one morning I just looked in the mirror and
I
decided
mean, these are
I'd
just
make
actors.
a
They're
few
just,
lifestyle
you know, acting in front of a
changes.
green screen.
Smoking, quit
Of course,
drinking.
this is a common occurrence now, but...
Now I'm getting out of the business.
And I see the CD access light and the hard drive access just blinking furiously right now on the computer, so... But I do appreciate the style they went with this game. That they went kind of
Guess that
silly.
means the end of the world must be around the corner because you are the detective.
Now,
I can't
you
imagine
know,
you doing
you're seeing it
anything
on flat
else,
panel
especially
captured and
not running
upscale,
around
but
an
it does look
island with a
really
bunch of
good on a
nubile
CRT. It
women who
hides a lot of the
wouldn't belong.
blemishes.
No, I
The
can't
action
imagine
cam
it.
is on deck, so you can see here. It's kind of on a
Thinking
weird
about it for
angle. That's the camera you
years
normally
now.
see me at.
Yeah.
But it's hard to
You
see
know how it
exactly, but it
is.
smooths it out a
Lonely.
lot. It makes it
Underappreciated.
look really good.
Dangerous.
And that's something that maybe is not as
Ah,
easy
well,
to
I
do
just like
anymore
sleeping 38
to be able to
years.
play it on a
I tell
PC
you, I'm
CRT, but
gonna
it does go a
sleep
long
now.
way to
That's
games
gonna
like
be my
this.
last one. Enough about me. How about you, Tex?
Yeah,
How's
there's going to be a
life
lot of
treating you?
video
Bad
tonight.
as it looks?
There's a lot of interactive stuff you can do, of course, in the game too, but
Well, it depends. What day is it?
I played
anyway?
this through. I remember, I think
Saturday?
my first
Well,
exposure was
Saturday's
on a
not too
demo
bad.
disc. I think a cover disc for
It's
the Swedish
normally
PC Gamer, or maybe in
Thursday
something
by the
else,
time I get really
one of the
suicidal.
UK magazines. I tried a demo, which drops you in the behind
So what is it you
restaurant,
wanted?
and then you have to
Just come
explore
by
that
to
area to
sprinkle a little
progress.
salt into
And that was
the
the whole demo.
open wounds of my
And I'm like,
pathetic
this is
life?
really cool. I got to get this.
No, Tex.
I didn't buy any other FMV games from that era, but that one, I just got, I got to check it out more. And I actually did buy it, played through the whole thing and beat it, which, you know me, that's something else for certain games.
But that's all gonna
So it
pass.
sounds like
You
several of
upgrade.
you have played this.
Like I said, I'll be leaving
Is
soon.
say so
and
several
I didn't
people you
wanna
really
be
enjoy
late
this game. Do you guys have any other FMV games you really enjoy?
years.
Because I mean that era, of course, was just littered with them. Some
Hey,
serious,
don't
some
worry
not so
about me. When
serious.
you tossed me out
Tex
of the
Murphy
agency,
series
it was
is
the best thing
cool.
that ever happened.
You have your
Digging through
Phantasmagoria.
dumpsters and
You
sleeping in
have your
abandoned speeders.
Seventh
helped me learn
Guest.
a
You got
great
your
lesson.
11th
Because
Hour,
no
right?
matter
You have
how
your
bad things are, they
all
can
those
always
horror
get
games.
worse.
And that was one of the big ones.
So
It
what
seems like
happened
the
to you?
horror
I
games
heard you
really
were
lean
pretty
into
well
the
there for a
FMV
while.
section.
Did a hell of a
But
job on that Martian memorandum case.
it's like
What's your problem? You one of those people
it's such a
who can't
fun
live with
era
success?
because this got phased
Ah.
out pretty fast when they realized that people did not
Well, I can
interested in
live with
playing
it.
interactive movies. Yes,
I'm
Mad
just
Dog
afraid of
McCree.
commitment.
McCree, sorry.
Now you tell me something.
Sewer Shark.
Why wouldn't you
Fucking
talk to
Sega
me
CD there.
15
Yeah,
years
of course, yeah,
ago?
you
I
have
was a
the
stupid kid
Sega CD,
back
of course,
then.
had a lot of
You
leaning
could have
into
tried
that.
to understand why I told the ethics board what I did. I mean, I
I'm
understand
acting.
now that I was out of line and I made a mistake. Why
Chris
you cut me off
Jones
like that?
is the
Because
guy who plays Tex
apparently you
Murphy here.
never
He's
learned
also
the
the
first
director
rule
of this
PI.
series, so
And
you
never,
know,
ever
it's his.
betray your friends.
I haven't seen
Your
much behind the
friendship
scenes
goes
on this,
beyond
but I
blood
assume this kind of has
relations.
babies, so.
You gotta find out who your friends are.
Zork
then you
Nemesis,
hold
yeah.
on to them. They're a precious commodity to people like me and you. Now listen. Before I go,
But it's funny how the
bring me in the
pre-rendered
morning. I heard your
areas
name mentioned in
behind
connection
are
with a
almost
case
like
that I'm
cleaner
working
looking
on.
than they capture the
You stay out
character.
of it.
So
If you don't,
um,
somebody's gonna find
nice.
you
Yeah,
floating in the bay
I
with a
played it
hole in
again
your head.
on this
I don't
AST,
need any more strain
which
on
is
my
fun to
conscience.
relive. But yeah, we have of course the Sega CD. It's also kind of littered with some of those. It's got Sewer Shark, Night Trap, of course,
pretty insulted.
another FMV
'Cause
game.
I'm a pretty damn good detective, and I can take care of myself. Thank you.
Insert making fun of myself and
Just remember what I said, Tex.
yeah.
Got no idea what kind of people.
Probably, yeah. I think it's just like you think about it. You're a super small studio, and you have, I assume, 3D Max or equivalent. Apparently, it was cheaper than building a set, right? Because yeah, he's in an office, but right, the building an entire set, and they have to have construction workers and all that stuff that comes with it versus just green screening. I mean, I think this game, besides some of the props they interact with in the videos, is like all green screen, like nearly 100%. Yeah, I suppose. I'm trying to think of other. I don't have that many games like that. I have Myst 3. Picked up the Daedalus Encounter recently. That's another one that's very much like a multimedia like that, right? Even touts 3 CDs on the back of it. But I don't have that many of them. I do have the Night Trap re-release from Limited Run Games. But that's pretty much it. I haven't really hunted for that kind of game. I wasn't like, you know, it's a fun period to experience, but it's not one that I've been chasing or hunting. I even think I basically traded off one of the ones I had, which was a horror game. Yeah, Shivers, I have that too. It's another one of those horror games. Not something that I sought out, or at least primarily now. Maybe I'll get more into collecting them eventually, but for now, that's pretty much it. So we're going to a new game. I pretty much have to. We're going to delete this character because I start from scratch. I was just testing and making sure it worked. But yeah, the interface is really crisp. I like what they did. And of course, this is a game that runs at 640 by 480 exclusively. It is not using, your typical DOS resolution. Well, not saying that 640 by 480 is not, but in this case, we have it set to use the high-res mode. And I think this interface is really slick. So, yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it wasn't like a stigma maybe around them, and it was a cool new medium. And I'm not sure how they managed to get James Earl Jones to do this. Maybe he was excited to do it. I mean, he appeared later on in Command and Conquer as well. So Westwood has always been big on the FMV stuff, right? Especially their RTS games. So he appears there in as well. And they had a cavalcade of, kind of B-list actors for a long time there. You have Dune 2000's John Rhys Davies. You have Michael Dorn. I mean, they have a ton of actors. And let's see if we need to switch CDs here now, because I think the intro stuff has been...
They found it again.
Well, we don't need to watch this again. Thank you. Insert disc 2. Here we go. I realized too late I should have gotten a Fedora, but we're in this era now where, disc swapping is cool. So all the cool kids do. Get disc 2 out here. Still looks okay, so... And we gotta wait. But yeah, it's a crisp interface, and that's the thing. They didn't have to do much, graphical horsepower lent to the game itself. That makes sense, so they could do very nice crisp. Uh-huh.
So last night, after 15 years, the Colonel walks into my office. Made me take a good hard look at myself. Maybe I have hit bottom, and maybe I do look like hell. Lord knows the only exercise I've had lately is tipping the bottle and flipping cards into my hat.
He's a down on his luck PI. And even make reference to the Martian Memorandum, which I haven't played, and that was before FMV, and it was like I think it was like a 2D animated style game.
I'm gonna scare up a job today, even if it means finding somebody's lost puppy.
It's gonna try and find a job. And now we go into the interactive mode, which is slowly rendering here. He's even in the bad part of town. Now you get into the interactive section, which lets you press spacebar to walk around. Look at this here. You look down and look up. And this runs slow in this mode. I don't think it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's sluggish. But if I played this as a kid, I probably would have done this. I don't need smoothness because all you're doing is move into a section. Of course, it's rendering this in software. So yes, it is super slow here. But then you go to this mode, and now you can look around, and that's how you interact with the world. You don't have to move around dynamically very much in this game. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's 640 by 480 in software. Try and play Quake on this machine in 640 by 480, and you're not doing that. But in this case here, it's, point-and-click adventure game. So, this game was not one that ran fast, but it's an intriguing engine here. Because you have, like, a mixture of 2D and 3D objects. I mean, you can tell there's some things are polygonal and some things are sprite-based. But here, of course, we're rendering a lot of 3D objects on the screen at the same time. And the fact that it goes full screen, too. But it gave you a lot of interactivity. I remember playing this, and, like, there's so much to, like, interact with and do that made it feel so unique compared to a standard, quote-unquote, 3D game. Or, not 3D, point-and-click adventure game. I'm not saying it's not a little clunky to move around, but... Spin up the CD.
Oh boy, mail.
The skip certificate entitles the holder to one free cosmetic job, nose, boob, etc., courtesy of the Real You Surgical Clinic. 30 minutes to a better you. Wow, what a deal.
Oh boy, mail.
I don't think that's... Chris Jones is the actual lead character. He plays Tex Murphy. I don't believe he's the one that voices it, but I see the similarity. Grand opening sale. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, the electronics shop will open its newly remodeled store and offer a veritable bonanza of bargains. Dongles, fax machines, remote controls, toys, stereos, vidphones, doohickeys, singers, whatchamacallits, and much, much more. Asterisk, one of each in stock. Be sure to check out the unbelievable prices on our own line of dandy products. Those products, of course, are not on sale. Remember to bring your electronics shop credit card. Cash not accepted. Credit card required to enter the electronics shop. And plan to stay late. You won't believe the deals. That's what we have for, there we go, credit card application too. Examine that.
A pre-approved electronic shop credit card application addressed to the previous occupant. Just needs to be signed, stamped, and mailed.
And that's, of course, you get a point system for doing things in the game, and you can subtract points if you want hints, but, you know, they built it right in. It's a pretty smooth game to play. Although, yeah, sure, the interface is a little clunky, and that's what happens when you have, you know, games like this that have so much to add in. And that's the thing that I think it's almost a little, you know, it's lost a little bit on, like, how the way LucasArts did it, right? I feel their interfaces and their point-and-click adventure games were always quite streamlined, so. It's a good-ish guy, don't worry about it.
My phonograph's an old family heirloom. I love to play the classics. Kool and the Gang, Peaches and Herb.
This is in the not too far off future 2040, I think, which, you know, it's coming up sooner than you think. But in the nice. Elevator music there. That is an interesting water cooler, isn't it?
Pure mountain spring water is indispensable, literally. I'm out of paper cups.
There's a lot of fun little, like, dad-level jokes in this game. I'm sure if you caught that, he said, this water is indispensable, literally, I'm out of paper cups. Got the dance steps here.
The office was actually a dance studio before I moved in, and Latin dancing is a Murphy family tradition. Well, that's not gonna work. Great-great-grandpa Murphy made it through the Depression by teaching cha-cha lessons to rich older women.
There's a lot of similarities, I think, to the lesson meals and type of humor, or they lean into that kind of stuff a lot, I think. And look at this. This is of course, a fully sprite-based gun here. It looks like a mixture between, like, the gun that was for the Master System, almost.
My gun. I love it so much. The old trusty sidearm. Been with me since the beginning. You want some of this, huh? Bam, bam. Hey, bam, bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. And you.
And he throws it right out of the window.
Hey, Sonny, can you help me out? My girlfriend threw my gun out of the window. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just pick it up and, hey, don't point that thing up here. That's not a toy, you know. Oh, my hell.
And
no
that's...
matter how bad things got, I always had my gun.
There you go. Now the gun is gone, too, so you don't have a gun, because I'm sure that would have made some of the future puzzles a little silly. But yeah, we lost our gun, because he threw out the window. So, let's go explore some more here. And this is kind of how the game works, is that you basically have these little arenas where you explore and look at things. Puzzle together, you talk to people and that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's a detective game, right?
So a life's worth of knickknacks, paddywhacks, and the world's largest piece of elbow macaroni.
Oh, I can't get the elbow macaroni?
Well, that's not gonna work.
It's not interactive. But I mean, I don't know. When I was playing this originally, I got completely hooked on, like, just kind of exploring and looking at everything.
CrimeLink computer is the only valuable piece of equipment left in the office. By entering suspect information like height, weight, and hair color, I can access the suspect's personal files.
CrimeLink 99A. Topper's Ridge, Alberto Smith. Oh man, he even pirated the game. Yeah, so you can. What you need to do here is figure out your possible suspects, and you need to get their information, because right now there's too many matches, so you can narrow it down and find who the person is, and then get their content information, I believe. So we'll get there eventually. Right now we don't have any leads at all to know, because we don't have any crimes to investigate. He doesn't have a job yet. So we'll see if we can figure that out.
Toxic Taste is a novel by Lou G. Trundle, the only mutant popular enough to make the New York Times bestseller list. My phone would work perfectly if it hadn't been disconnected. Hip-hop English keeps me up on all the slang kids are using today.
Hip-hop English.
Sylvia, my ex-wife.
Of course he has an ex-wife, so...
Whenever I think things can't get any worse, I think about her and how she totally screwed up my life. She's a woman who loves a man, anytime.
They lean into every possible, like, stereotype for this, but the game is better for it, I think.
Oh, there you are. I just got done with the chair. I'll be sending the bill to your husband.
Oh, Rudy. Let's not think about my husband right now. I was watching you upholstery and you're so big and strong.
Do you really think so?
Well, yes. God, I've only known you for 10 minutes and I feel like I've known you forever. Oh, yes, look. And look at this muscle. Oh.
Yeah, they lean into every possible trope that they possibly can. And it's, again, the game is better for it.
Kiss me, Rudy, and set my lips on fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Tex, honey. I wasn't expecting you home so soon.
Well, duh. Obviously. Now I know why the Roto-Rooter man keeps calling and asking whether we need our plumbing checked. Well, I gotta admit, those chairs look pretty good.
Thanks. Listen, how about I don't charge you on the labor and we call it even?
Yeah, there's a variety on the quality of acting there, of course.
Customer servicing doesn't include my wife.
See, honey? I saved you some money again. Aren't you happy?
I married her for better or worse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It didn't seem like the lines were synchronized up there. Like the audio was recorded after, but that's not a surprise.
The Scotch guard that Rudy's upholstering service put on my office chairs will stand up to anything. And I ought to know.
Good evening, welcome. We're in FMV land. Exploring. And that's the thing, and sometimes...
Another pile of garbage. There just aren't enough hours in the day.
In some cases, you have to basically... you do have to do the point and click, like, finding the thing, right? But right now, we do not have a job. We're going to explore a little more.
Oh, great. Another incoming message that won't print out. If I don't get a new fax machine, I'll be out of business.
Fax machine. That was the thing, apparently. We can open a drawer here. We gotta, I mean, yes, it runs really sluggish, and we can set the resolution to lower.
Most haven't been used for so long, I'm afraid to open them.
But again, fine to the.
As usual, it's a mess. Most of these desks. As usual, it's. This is probably the only writing utensil that works in the whole office.
Get a pen. There we go. Now we can use. There we go. We filled out the application. Now we just need an envelope probably to mail it.
My old reliable faux oak desk.
Oh, oak.
Nothing in here.
Oh, there's a stamp in there. That's convenient. Earth. We see an envelope.
As usual. This here is my favorite desk drawer.
Mm-hmm. My favorite term is the secure fax. when they basically have, yeah, the connection is secure, but often the fax would go to like a fax machine in a shared area. We need an envelope, which we don't have. I combine the... Oh. We need an envelope. I wish you could move the viewpoint around a little bit as you are... as you're in the interactive one.
Was actually a dance.
Hoping I could dance here. I think that comes later, but...
The dusty credenza I've got serves only one purpose, and that's to keep the dust off the floor.
Yeah. I mean, it's... You get it right. It's like sometimes that's what you gotta do, or fax, whatever. So, let's see. That's the outside. I think this is...
All I've ever needed was a soft felt fedora, a well-tailored overcoat, and a comfy pair of sneakers. Some people know what they like, and they stay with it.
All he has. Like, yeah, you got to put into perspective of when this was released, too. Because this was like 1994, and they made the game... It's one of those games that's almost like a future-proof, right? It has... Like, it takes more out of the... You could never have done this on a 486. I mean, the game says a minimum of a 386.25, right? And you would have to run this at, like, ridiculously low resolution to make it run on that, but it probably would, so... In here.
Nothing here but nostalgia.
Yeah, just one. I think we've done everything we can here. I think we're gonna leave and go down on the street. Ugh, come on.
The air outside feels thick, like I'm breathing through.
I'm having a good time right now with. I'm playing it on my 4070. You found a good sweet spot for it, but not with the path tracing. So
I need to hunt for some work. I always like to start the day with the traditional PI breakfast. That hits the spot.
Cigarettes. Loading. I feel we should save here too. Rendering. Rendering. I mean, you had a, quote-unquote fully explorable 3D world to mess around with, and that was something that I think was really cool. But we're going to save here. Ah, you can increment and save. Nice.
The ruins of old San Francisco make for a bleak landscape.
And, yes, it very much has an Al Bundy look, no denying that. I bet you can. You run with the rasterized at 1080p. I bet you can get away with the 1080 Ti. I mean, you can tweak that game a lot, so pretty scalable. Oh, here we go. Now we're running a lot of stuff here. Come on, Penchum, you can do it. Wait. Oh. Oh. Book barn, radioactive. How much electronic shop, but we don't have the card yet for that. Yeah, the 1080 Ti I think is going to be one of those cards that like it's going to go down in history as like one of the best ones because it was so scalable and strong for so long.
Chelsea's a hot little number. I hear she's a mutant, but it doesn't show. The only weird thing about her is she won't go out with me.
Ah, yes, the 90s one.
Chelsea Bando's the kind that could hold her own with anyone, but she has a way of turning my knees to jelly. She's a mutant, just like everyone else in this part of town, but she's a real beauty.
Well, hello, stranger.
Yeah, and then you have like a branching dialogue tree here.
Tell me, gorgeous, has the new True Detective come in yet?
Yeah, but
these scenes here are rendered pretty well. I mean, I think they look really good.
It is in no condition to sell.
You're a riot, Chelsea. You ought to be doing stand-up.
No. Look, I do enough stand-up work right here. So can I help you with something?
And now you can ask, and this, I think it's pretty common, like, in these kind of games where you have a, you know, you learn things to ask about, right? So,
Oh, you know me, Tex. I'm just making ends meet. Luckily, Ardo seems to like me. I mean, if I were on his bad side, I'd be tempted to relocate. He could crush
that's the thing, the 1080 Ti is not new at this point, but it still can hold up or hold its own, right? So, he could crush a Subaru with one hand.
Rook acts like a tough guy, but he's a softie. Just don't tell him that to his face. I love Louis, but his friendliness doesn't fool me.
I mean, I remember playing this, and I don't know, I gobbled this kind of game style up because it was just you were exploring and finding new stuff all the time. So,
Franny's a live wire. Either she or Sal is going to do time for killing the other one. I have never seen a couple fight like they do. Sal's a handful. He's a nice guy, but I don't know, I feel kind of naked when he gives me the eye. Wish I could help you there, Tex.
he doesn't know. Already asked about.
Luckily.
Okay. End conversation. That's it. I need to find someone else to talk to. Look at that, like, nice rendering there. Whee! I need to find an envelope. Yeah, exactly. Things haven't changed that much in that time. Rusty's fun masks.
It's all locked up. The only way I'm gonna get inside is by using my innate cleverness or ingenuity, or maybe a key.
Got a doormat here? Yep.
Looks like a welcome mat, but when it's on the doorstep of a novelty shop, you can never be too careful.
Look at that. A little breaking and entering is fine. Loading. Please stand by. Like, I don't remember most of this. If anyone remembers, it's been it's exceedingly creepy in here. Crossbow. I think we need that probably. I'll just steal this. It's fine. Breaking and entering.
This wig must be quite popular with shy people.
Oh, the wig covers the whole face.
A mask of the king? That's blasphemy!
I think they had a lot of fun making
This
this.
wig probably sells well during the Bay Area Yodeling Festival. Whoa, this wig would even make someone like me look glamorous. Whoa! For a second there, I thought someone had decapitated Inspector Burns and left his head on the floor. What a great mask.
It's an adventure game, so you need to pick up everything you can get, of course. You might need it.
Well, I have no idea what I'd ever do with a stacking ring, but what the heck.
I mean, so yes, it's a video game going on here. The thing about this, he's a PI looking for work, and he's just like, oh, there's a key to get into the store. I'm just going to go in and start taking stuff.
These weapons are all made of plastic. All bark and no bite. They're completely useless.
Oh, look cool, though.
It's a rusty clown life-size doll. Wow. It's a dead ringer for... Oh, no pun intended.
It's a little creepy at times here. I'll get a full-size...
I'll bet this is a real popular mask. I'll bet this is a real popular mask. Wow, the limited edition...
I mean, there's so much you can interact with here. It's almost crazy when you think about it. So, any banana, welcome. We're breaking and entering right now.
Sloppy lasagna eater. Oh, this is a scary mask. Well, this must be Mr. Grimm. He's a reaper.
Ah.
Looks like my 4th grade teacher.
We're just broke into a novelty shop and store stuff.
Looks like some
stole
kind
stuff.
of in-house television.
Hi, kids. It's me,
Inspector Burns. Oh, he's got burns everywhere.
Fire can be our friend, but fire can be our foe. So many times fires start so carelessly. And what can fires do? Fires burn you. Never, never light matches. No, no, no.
Oh my.
Fire is dangerous. Fire made me look like this. Do you want to look like me? No, no, no. Don't
Yeah, that's
look
true.
like
We
a
don't have
sunburn.
we don't
Don't
have
play with matches.
bleepers going on. Actual ad-lib sound now, at
Inspector
least.
Burns. I always thought he was a freak.
Inspector
The kids
Burns.
love him. So does Ardo.
Again, it's an adventure game, so we're gonna try and take care of it. What's this up here? A key?
Maybe this key fits in that employees only door.
Again, video game, but we're basically just like robbing this guy now.
Just a couple of empty old packing boxes.
Hoping there was something in there, but I guess not. Probably everything we got from this place here. Door
That
there.
door leads out to the street.
Fine. Stay here. Rusty's. Oh, leaving Rusty's. Come again. Just this key here. Yep. Look at this, like 3D. Toxic acid. Well, that's neat. The dart on the wall here. Think.
A plastic suction dart can be formidable ammo in the hands
Oh, now
of
I
an
have the,
expert like myself.
Like in any adventure game, everything can be used later on. So you can combine the... Now it's loaded. The 3D rendering there. Ooh.
The sink must have been used for developing.
I mean, it's like, I'm not sure how
Not
long it
much
took to
use
make
for
this
it
game
now,
because,
since
I
all
mean,
the
they went all in
developing
with the
equipment's
3D rendering, the full motion video, and all this stuff. I mean, it's from perspective of like 1994 when this came out. I think it was 94. It's darn impressive. That was just a bullet hole there. Darkroom stuff.
Why in the world would Rusty keep a barrel of toxic acid?
Hmm. Ooh. Hmm. Casual murder.
Oh, lordy. Well, this is where Rusty ended
Oh my.
up. What a way to go. I'm willing to bet he didn't crawl in here on his own.
Yeah, someone murdered
Someone
Rusty.
murdered him.
Oh well.
Posters in here tell you more than you'd ever care to know about film processing.
I guess we'll not worry about him. Fine. Then at least we don't feel bad about taking his stuff. But now that we have seen that he has been murdered, let's leave. Creepy. The later ones actually, Overseer has, what box here, this one actually has 3D accelerated environments, so it's that kind of late, but it will support like, I think it's, I mean, it's probably Direct 3D or something, but it will support full 3D rendering of the environments you're walking around. This is, of course, 100% software, and we could run it at a lower resolution if we wanted to, but it just kind of works this way, I think. So I'm going to save again because I feel like I'm going to run into like increment, file, and save. Nice. So that's the Acme Warehouse. Golden Gate Hotel. The back area there we can drive around to. We'll just explore here a little bit and see what we can find. Probably can't get in here, but...
Yeah, looks like someone's locked the door.
Yeah, you're a freaking kleptomaniac. But again, you got to put in perspective when this was, and seeing so much stuff here, interactive, like explorable, and it felt like the next generation of game compared to like the point-and-click adventure games that we're used to at the time. I mean, I do adore.
The most interesting thing about these movie posters is
I do adore all the LucasArts and CR games like that, but you get to this kind of type of game was just such a, felt like a revolution. Everyone wanted on the multimedia train.
Rook Garner runs this pawn shop. Rook Garner runs this pawn shop. He's a crusty old World War III vet with a face like a raisin and a tongue like a butcher's cleaver.
I'm sure this guy's gonna be nice.
What do you want, Murphy?
Fine. How you doing, Rook?
I'm not in the mood for small talk.
Well, then, by all means, let's discuss a serious topic.
Breaking,
Sassy.
entry, and robbery serious enough for you, Murphy?
Last night, someone broke into my pawn shop. I don't usually have anything of great value, but yesterday, I gave out a fair amount of cash for an extremely valuable diamond
How
bracelet.
convenient. Maybe you need to solve that. Uh-huh.
How much is a fair amount of cash?
In this case, $8,000.
Oh my.
Boy, that's a lot of clams, Rook.
Don't you think I know that?
The bracelet was pawned by a young girl named Emma Nimpton. She said she hated to hawk a family heirloom, but had no choice. She said
We're on the
she would
case.
reclaim the bracelet in a month. Well, since the bracelet was worth 10 times the 8,000 I loaned her, it was a good deal for me.
Investigate
Did
fact.
you get any other information from this Emma Nimpton?
She left a phone number. I called her this morning, but the line is disconnected.
I can take the case.
Sounds like my vast experience as a PI could come in handy.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt. The police are no help. A mutant is on his own when he gets robbed in this town. I'd appreciate your help. I'm not a rich man, but if you find the bracelet, I'll owe you a few favors, which could come in handy. Come back here and I'll show you where they broke in.
Convenient. We have a job. Ah. X is on the case. Rendering, rendering. Here we go. Come on. And bloop.
Rook takes me out back and shows me where the burglar
I
broke
think
in.
this is where the demo
The back
takes place,
window is
actually.
busted out and the latch is ripped. It's a sloppy job. As I start my investigation, I'm looking for information to enter into my CrimeLink computer back at the office. One thing's for sure, Emma
We'll
Nimpton
see if we have to
won't
get
be one of
the-
suspects' names. Every PI worth his salt knows that's not my name spelled backwards.
Aha. Clever. I think this is where the demo drops you. I remember, like, just exploring this alley. Oh, look at that.
Looks like a key of some kind.
We'll take that. Who knows where it goes?
Whoever uses these garbage
And do some
cans is either a
sleuthing around
terrible
here in the
shot
back
or
alley.
saving them for that special piece of trash.
Area of interest.
The empty bottles of chocolate syrup lying all around this alley all look like they've been licked clean. Whatever's on the other end of this power box must be out of commission. The gauge is as dead as my love life.
Grim Fandango is definitely one, and I feel bad. I've actually never sat down and played it. My brother played it.
It's one of those basketballs they used to give away at Weenie World.
And I don't know. I don't know why I dropped off the adventure games at that time, but
10 seconds left. Down by one. Murphy has the ball. He fakes. He drives. It's a 360. He's fouled.
a combination. And welcome, Doppler. It's basically a FMV, like as you saw there, that was FMV, but this is 3D rendered in software mode. So it's a mixture. It's both, actually, which is what kind of gives us a charm. You get these interactive environments you can move around and explore and look for clues and stuff.
I don't usually enjoy piles of garbage, but they do add a lot of character to this alley.
Full of random jokes, too. But then, yeah, it goes into FMV mode when you're watching, well, cutscenes and everything. Very heavily leaning on the FMV side. It gives you a way to interactively move around in a full 3D environment. Recyclable papers only.
Wow, a recyclable paper can. Finally, a glimmer of ecological responsibility. I didn't know Rook cared.
Look at that. Render it, render it. There we go.
Wow. A recent.
Okay, was there anything in there?
Wow.
I guess there was something in there, but I guess not. Because it was like a called out one. Not 3D usable. This, not either. I'm looking for the interactive stuff here. These trash cans are not 3D rendered, so that one is. No. I think there's someone in this. Going
Oh,
right.
man. This dumpster smells like 20-year-old mayonnaise, and I ought to know.
Ugh.
Well, I'll be darned. Except for the
Huh.
filth and stench, the interior isn't much different than the average studio apartment. In fact, it's nicely furnished. Someone's been living here, and I wonder if he saw anything.
Gotta find whoever was living here, I think so. Why not Zoidberg? I gotta question whoever lived there, but I think that's all we can find here now. No one in there at the moment. A key now. What's a footprint there? Look at that.
Looks like a shoe print is outlined in that sticky pool of something resembling chocolate. Footprint's about a size 14.
I need to write this down somehow here, because we're gonna run into that kind of stuff, I think. I think we have to use this for the crime computer later. Yeah, it's alright. Wife and I are both watching it, and we were big Futurama fans from the original one. It's alright. I mean, it's fun, but I don't feel like it has the same spark versus the Disenchantment show ended their run now. And we love that one through and through. It's got that, to me at least, kind of that, I don't know, mixture of mystery and fun and art and stuff like that that Futurama had originally to me. We've been enjoying that one more. Finish that out. I'd recommend that show.
The empty
Anything
bottles
here?
of chocolate.
We liked it a lot, but it's a different pace. It's definitely slower than Futurama, but Futurama feels a little flat to me now. But each their own, I suppose, so. Got the key, we got the thing.
So, Murphy, have you come up with anything yet?
I've got some clues, but I need some more information from you.
That depends on whether you're here to help me or to irritate me. She's a honey, ain't she? Makes me wish I was 30 years younger. She knows the black market and has helped me make some connections.
Black market, huh?
Louis and I go way back.
Gotta figure out all the
We
names
ran
now.
guns to Ethiopia before World War III, then fought in the same regiment during the war. After the war, Louis opened the brew and stew and told me about this shop, which I bought for a song, and then I started my own pawn business. Franny's a hot-blooded gal. She and her husband Sal wake up the neighborhood sometimes with their rows.
There's so much to learn in this game, and keeping track of all the names.
Sal's a brute. Funny as hell, but he can get pretty bad after a couple of drinks. He and his wife Franny have a real love-hate thing. Makes me glad I never tied the knot. Sal leaves running.
And I'm not sure on all these random actors here, but again, they're, you know, acting towards a green screen. 1 second. Stand by, gotta check something. yeah, the accent kind of comes and goes, so.
Strikes me as a village idiot. He came by one time to see if I had any Inspector Burns action figures. I told him I'd never heard of these Burns characters and thought the kid was gonna tear my damn head off.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything about that. I think that the green screen, they probably realized that the green is used less than anything else, and there's less risk that it's overlapping. But the blue like has the risk of being overlapping, right? Versus green is like very rarely used. So
And rubies and inlaid with
I assume.
gold. It makes me mad as hell that someone would break into the shop. I have a hard enough time making ends meet.
Nice look there. All right, well, I guess we asked about everything we can there now. Do some detective work here now. We can ask her about the robbery in case she saw anything. We need to find out who was in the dumpster there too and ask them. Whoa, here we go. Where's the map?
Hi, Tex. How's the investigation going? Is there anything I can do to help?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, you know, I remember Rook told me about the burglary. You know, I remember a stranger hanging around the past couple of days.
Yeah, I mean,
It might be a dead end, but I seem
cat
to
food,
remember
you know,
that the
probably
guy
sells
had
well.
these bright green eyes and a tattoo of an anchor on his arm.
Bright green. Helpful. All right. Oh, yeah. It looks like a little Christina Applegate a little bit. Very 90s. I mean, it's the future is the 90s, so.
Sorry, I haven't heard anything about that. Rook acts like a...
Okay. Well, that helped. We got a little more information in the crime computer we can do. I think we can get back in here now. Yeah. Let's see if anyone is in the dumpster. Loading. And most of the waiting time you're seeing here is coming from, you know... in here.
Well, I'll be darned.
Yeah, there's no one in here right now. We'll have to come back later and find someone, I guess. But we could go to the crime computer now and see, but we can explore the street a little more, too. Oh, there was like a note or something we have to find here. I'm a little surprised there's nothing here. Maybe we'll come back to this here later, something being in here. Yeah, I think there's going to be an object over there later where someone recycles something. Make the plot thicken. They recorded like dialogue for, you know, almost everything.
Street light allows you to read graffiti without the unnecessary eye strain caused by other street lights. The baby rum wrapper looks like it was left recently. Yep, still warm.
Can't get it though. Radio here?
Whoa, this antique boombox worked. I bet it only play the Bee Gees.
Yeah, that's... No, you're not wrong, because this is basically that kind of thing. Get the boom boxes. Pick it. Look around here. No, nothing there. Bottles, trash. Oh, stole a boombox. We're stealing everything we can. But yeah, that's kind of the kicker with these games. There's always going to be stuff that you have to find. That it's going to be hard to see. Radioactive site. Nice.
Some of this devastation came from the Barney the Dinosaur Museum. No one was too upset when it became one of the first structures to get blasted in the war. Everyone refers to this stuff as Barney rubble.
Barney rubble. The bar. Go in the pizza bar.
Well, it's that a handsome P.I. Tex Murphy. Have you come to take me away?
How'd you guess? You must have seen my white horse hitched to the railing out front.
Oh my, Mr. Murphy, you certainly know how to excite a girl.
Yes. Shattered fantasy of a lonely woman.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, Mrs. Lucido. But I'm here on business.
Oh, pooh! All the business and no pleasure makes even a private dick a dull boy. What do you want? I heard that Rook's place got robbed. It scares me to death. There's so much crime in this
Pizza
part
now.
of the city.
No, I had pizza for lunch.
Rook is a tough old geezer. I've known him ever since we opened the Slice of Heaven back in '32. But I can't say I know him very well.
Leaning into the stereotype just a little bit.
Chelsea is a nice girl. Sal tries to flirt with her, but she doesn't give him the time of day. I like Louis. He runs a nice place, and I go over there and chat with him when the business is slow. Well, I was hoping you'd get around to asking about me. I'm just a lonely, hot-blooded woman who needs a lot
I don't know.
of
It's like a game like this, they pretty much
man.
have to do the stereotypes, I think. No way around it.
Me and Sal got married too young, and it's been up and down ever since. I've had
Give
enough
me all the
of his
information.
drinking and the womanizing, and I divorce him in a second. But he's got a couple of buddies who are top lawyers. If I had some hard evidence of him screwing around, I could divorce him and get a decent settlement. Ardo is an overgrown kid. He comes in here for the all-you-can-eat buffet, and I've got to kick him out every time. If I didn't, he'd eat everything we got. Can't help you, Tex. Sorry.
These are different things there, but alright. So that's just a talking section. Nothing you can do there. On the ground here.
Well, this is a section of the Bay City Mirror. It's a weekly newsletter that covers local goings-on written by mutants for mutants. I'd subscribe if they had a comics page.
Because he's dumb. We'll take that. You can read the newspaper. Burglars baffle police. This. Total of inner-city pawn shop burglaries committed over the past 3 weeks now stands at 9. Zippy Cash, located in the corner of Jackson and Maple Street, was broken into 3 nights ago. Pawn shop owner Urban Roby did not report the crime until this morning, thinking it was simply a practical joke played by his friends. Tragically, this was not the case. Of the 9 burglarized pawn shops, Zippy Cash was only the second not owned by Mutant. There have been some speculation that police are not actively investigating the crimes. Most of the victims are mutants. Mayor Lender, who is up for re-election later this year and will need the mutant vote to retain his position, has publicly called the police onto the carpet. Police Lieutenant Mac Malden, who is heading the investigation, denied that the police are dragging their feet. What we're dealing with here is some kind of master criminal. He just hasn't left us anything to work with. Lieutenant Malden is sure that the burglaries have all been committed by the same person. The MO, methods of operation, have been almost identical. A girl goes to a pawn shop, hawks a piece of jewelry for a large amount of cash. The shop was broken into that same night. Lieutenant Malden would not specify, but said that his team of detectives had some evidence and hoped to have some solid leads within the next few days. We need to ask them. So, yeah, I mean, they came out with one recently. The Tesla effect, I think, was fairly within the last few years. So, and he plays Tex Murphy still. Yeah, it's... I think there are. I could have sworn that there was another indie game that came out pretty recently that was a full FME, but I do believe there are some that do that kind of stuff, so I assume I have to go talk to Lieutenant Malden. A body floating... This week's poem was sent in by 15-year-old Bupu Wong. Haiku to a taco. Soft shell taco mine? What meat art thou concealing? Who cares? It's tasty. Need cash. At Oregon Trail Clinic, we pay up to $50 cash for any and all vital organs. We also pay market rate for arms, legs, and eyeballs. Are you a lefty who's short on rent? Must be removed on site to meet AMA requirements. Bring in that right arm. Our friendly, qualified staff will be happy to sever that limb, and you'll walk out moments later with a few extra dollars in your pocket. Hurry in and don't forget to ask about our frequent donor program. Oh my. Lemon crawlies in an old coffee can of your choice. Senator committed to asylum. Trying to see if there's anything that has to do with. We all knew along he was a whacked out thumb-sucking piece of bleep. Why the Crusades must be stopped. Genetic discrimination. Heart and soul. Police officer acquitted of assault and civil suit. All right. Well, we probably have to talk to the police officer to figure out what's going on. Trash can we can look in. Oh yeah. Go for that lid. Whoa. Come on. Oh. No, nothing in the trash can. Oh, we do need an envelope. Is this a full explorable environment or just talking?
Brew and Stew is
Yeah,
run
just
by
talking.
Louis Lamintz, a bloated mutant with a heart bigger than his waistline. Everyone comes to Louis' cafe. So does all the street.
Ah, I can get some information.
Something's going on. Louis knows about it.
I don't know. It's like
What can I do for you, Mike?
Nothing for me, Louis. I just dropped by to chat.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Well, Louis, you're the grapevine around here. Anything interesting going on?
This is like slowly uncovering clues, and like most point-and-click adventure games, but it had like, again with the CD-ROM stuff, it was just another level.
It's got a lot of tension stirred up between mutants and norms.
And I'm trying to think of other games that went this deep into production values, but again, we had a lot of FMV games around this time too. You know anything about the burglary?
Rook's been robbed before, but he's never had anything really valuable taken. This is gonna set Rook back for a while. Too bad the cops have turned a blind eye. Rook told me about the bracelet, but I don't know anything more
GOG sale is dangerous stuff.
Rook's an ornery old cuss, but me and him are old buddies. We fought in the big war together.
They all work on the same street, I guess. That's convenient.
One person you can trust in these troubled times. Chelsea acts tough, but she has to be with all the scum around. And she's as smart as she is pretty.
I don't know. It's super charming, I think. It's just like I didn't pay much attention to FMV games at the time, besides this one. But it's something that, you know, thinking back to it now.
Yeah, things are a little slow, but I'm getting by. Having to lay off some of my kitchen help hurt my pride.
Yeah, that's not a game that. Is there any like fan patches for Daikatana that tries to fix up a whole bunch of stuff?
Granny's a fireball. She and Sal opened the pizza place 7 to 8 years ago, and they've been fighting ever since. Sal's a big guy with an appetite for food, wine, and women. He comes by
have any
here
dirt on
most
him
every
that can help?
day for lunch.
Because I know a lot of games that are like that can be kind of fixed up with, you know, fan patches after the fact, but
now and again.
I know that Daikatana may be
Usually
one that
orders a
cannot be
couple of
saved. I'm not
steaks
sure.
And a chocolate milk. His temper's as short as he
Then again, if they can restore the Duke Nukem Forever demo into a fully playable game.
A bad combination. Sorry. Ever since the crusade started up,
True.
The
Just uninstall it would fix it.
between norms and mutants has gone.
I'm trying to think when FMV games just kind of started disappearing. I suppose they didn't last that long because by the time that we've had CD-ROMs for a while, they weren't that exciting anymore. It wasn't like the forefront, especially when you got when you got into fully 3D rendered environments and that kind of games that kind of took over, and there wasn't much of a market in the same way. And games like the Myst series held on for quite a while. I think for me, Doppler, the biggest thing is like, yes, it was overhyped beyond belief, but it's just there's too much like they want to do too many things, and it didn't feel like it.
He's one of the few norms besides you who's eaten here.
It like I don't know, especially when we streamed it, like it was just boring. It's like a boring game, but it has a lot of cool ideas, but it didn't deliver on them. It was just way overhyped. But it's kind of what you got for the time, I suppose. They had basically unlimited development resources until they ran out, so... Okay. We could, we have to get a credit card. We can't... Can we do... Let's see. Inventory... We combine the stamp with... Oh, okay. Alright, we don't need an envelope. Ready to mail application. Okay, so let's do that. Where's the mailbox here? There it is. We can get into the electronics shop here in a bit.
The Postal Service has
There we
gotten
go.
much faster since the stamp price went to $10. I should get my credit card back tomorrow morning.
Well, that'll make things go faster. I think we can go to the crime computer now, maybe, and... Oh, there's a hotel here, too, right? Been in here.
On the top floor of this place is where I hang my hat. It's not much, but it's better than... Well, it's not much.
It isn't much. That's alright. San Francisco.
The ruins of old San Francisco.
Alright, we've already looked at that. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, sluggish and brutal now, but... Got a little nice, inlaid, like, entryway to show what it looks like inside there. Oh, we haven't saved for a while now, have we? Do that. Increment, file, and save. Cool. Alright, well, let's see if we can narrow it down. We do have a couple of things now that we could... use, but I think we have to probably go to the police station and talk to the Mac Meldon guy and get more information from the cops. Dun dun. Yeah, we don't have much to go on. All we know is this shoe size 14, green eyes. Yeah, there we go. Green eyes. Shoe size 14. But we need more. Yeah. We don't have enough yet, so yeah, I think that Night Dive Studios already did a re-release of this one. I don't know how much they touched on the game or not, but yes, they did. You can buy it on GOG now, I think, so it might have just been a touch-up, but I'm not sure if that was a full remaster or not. I know Night Dive is pretty much the ones to do remasters, obviously, but I think that's where you can get it today if you want to play it on a modern machine. See if we can go to the police station, I guess, so... I would assume so, yeah. I'm not sure how they would up-sample that, but you can use AI, of course, but... Open. There we go. Police station. Go to. PVT deck. Very Lambo-like flying car there.
I haven't seen Mac Malden since the Martian Memorandum case. I remember him as a surly, incompetent, fat-nosed cop. As I step into his office, I can see he's changed. His nose is even bigger.
These games are really charming.
Well, if it isn't Tex Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you'd be dead by now.
No, not yet. Actually, I'm working on a case.
Sure you are.
That's always the tricky
Probably
part,
a
right?
case of cheap
Like,
scotch.
if they can find original stuff, they can resample it a lot. Make a fermented deal.
Tell you what, help me solve this case I'm working on, and I'll buy you a scotch, and not the cheap stuff.
Bribing a cop, eh, Murphy? Get out of here now, and I might not bust you.
Oh, come on.
Can't you find something better to do than bother me?
Oh, I need some...
I don't mean to bother you, but I'm still stuck on this case.
Sure you are. Probably a case of cheap scotch.
Not me. I hear drinking too much is your department.
Oh.
Hey, I got plenty to drink about. The mayor's office is all over me again. You heard about the string of pawn shop robberies? We have no suspects, and I'm catching the heat for it.
Sounds like we might be looking for the same burglar. Let's compare notes, old buddy.
No chance, Murphy. I don't need you getting in my way. Go play detective somewhere else.
There's a way to get through this dialogue, I think. And they're making fun of that, too, so...
Can't you find...
I don't mean to...
Sure you are.
Not me. I hear drinking too much is your department.
Hey, the mayor's...
Alright, Suck Up did not work, so we'll do Pride.
What you need is San Francisco's best detective on the case.
Yeah? I asked him to help out, but he's busy. Now...
We can get through the dialogue. I want to see if it just is a dead end now, or if it do something else first.
I don't mean...
Sure you are.
Not me.
Hey, the mayor's...
So you and your crack team of detectives have no leads?
Of course we have leads, you pots.
Oh, here we go.
We know he's a norm, Caucasian, and has AB negative blood. That narrows down our list of suspects to about 1 million. Now get out of my head.
There we go. That's what we look for. Now we have a little more information, see? So we know shoe size 14, bright green eyes, tattoo of an anchor, a norm, Caucasian, and AB negative blood. And whatever. Oh, that's just here. Let's go to Tech's office now. And try to crime computer. I figured it was a way to get out of there. But yeah, they made fun of the notes there a minute ago. And it's funny, like, you think today, like, you could do amazing 3D render stuff. Like, there's public available engines and stuff like that. And we get a lot of really cool 3D games now made by, yeah, AB negative, right? What he said. I think so, AB negative. I have shoe size, shoe size 14, bright green eyes, tattoo of an anchor, norm, Caucasian, AB negative, right? We're going to use the crime computer now and see if we get any more hits on that. We don't know the size of him yet, but it should maybe narrow it down. So, Caucasian, norm. We don't need that, so... AB negative. Tattoos anchor. Nice. That's still too many hits. Yep. We don't have enough yet, so. Mother, anchor, naked lady, and skull. That's very convenient. I'm going to ask some more people and see what we can figure out. Not a mutant, so we know that. But I don't know height, I don't know weight. Missing head. Fourth leg, third leg missing, right? Other. Alright, fine. So who have we asked yet? I think we've been everywhere, but got to be someone else we can ask that has. Now the detective plot thickens here. We need to find out the remaining pieces to go through the current computer and find our suspect, basically. We got what we can from the cop there. Let's see. Did she see anything more? She's the one who gave us a tip on the
What can I do for you, Tex? Yeah, you know, I remember Rook told me about the burglary. You know, I remember a stranger hanging around.
Okay. Suppose you can remember anything else if you remember him. Like, can you think of anything else about him? No. We've already been in here. Yeah, I don't think we've been over here.
I heard this
Newspaper?
newspaper
Yeah.
box got destroyed right after Chelsea opened her newsstand. Coincidence?
Hmm. Yeah, we gotta find more clues. So what's in here?
Coit
Loading.
Tower was once a majestic landmark. The
Wieners.
wiener stand on the patio at the base of Coit Tower made the best chili dog in town. No one's here right now, though, so I better check back later.
Fair enough. Travel. Yeah, there's nowhere else to go right now. Fire hydrant. Looking for clues. This Golden Gate Hotel, have we been in here? No, we have not. Go and ask here.
Ardo Newpop is a gigantic goon who works at the front desk at the Golden Gate Motel. Ardo's no rocket scientist. In fact, he probably doesn't even know what a rocket scientist is. My name's Tex, and I'm a PI. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Okay. I think I already seen the show before anyway.
Captain Wallaby, your favorite show?
It's my third favorite show.
No, no problem.
My
Welcome, Mike Boy.
favorite is the Inspector Burns Fire Safety Show.
Why is that your favorite show?
Because fire safety is very important, and I want to.
Oh, we get to dress up and ask him questions. Sure, as Mr. Inspector Burns.
Look, Ardo, if you'll answer some of my questions, I might bring Inspector Burns in to meet you. Would you like that?
Okay. I can answer some questions, but first I have to put on my fire hat because Inspector Burns' Fire Safety Show is going to be on pretty soon.
Alright, do you know anything about it?
I don't know what that is.
Fair enough.
I went to his pawn shop because I thought he would have Inspector Burns action figures, but he didn't, and I got mad at him, so he probably don't like me. Ooh, Chelsea is pretty cool, because she's got good magazines and stuff. That's where I bought my Inspector Burns Fire Safety Manual.
Couldn't get anything out of this
He's
guy,
a
but I
nice
will
guy,
dress
and I
up
like to eat there
as
'cause there's
Inspector
a
Burns,
TV.
I'm sure, and then lets me probably move around.
She's the lady who makes the best pizza. I eat at her pizza place all the time because I love it.
But it's fun getting a little nuggets of information to get further.
I just want to be like my hero, Inspector Burns, because fire safety is very important.
Fine, he doesn't know.
I heard about that, but I don't know what a crusade is.
Something? Fair enough. So, what do we got on inventory now? Can I wear it? I guess I need a an actual like safety thing. I don't think there's any way to like wear it. correctly. Creepy. A clown doll. I don't suppose I can combine those two. I have a key from the alley, so where does that key go? You have to go back to the alley. The warehouse, that's locked, I think. Maybe the key will work here.
Yeah, looks like someone's locked the door.
Try it.
Well, that's not gonna work.
Fine. Not the right key. This is closed here. Take another look quick in your rusty fun mask. It probably got everything we need in there. That's worth looking again. Because now we need to find some more information about this perpetrator. I feel like we need to talk to the guy in the dumpster. He probably saw more. Just anything else in here? And open. Yeah, basically. Again, it's got a nice, cool vibe to it here.
The sink must have been used for developing photos. Not much.
Oh, look at that. There's a balloon here. Take the balloon. Already saw there was a clown in there. Got the dart from the wall. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a little tricky to control at times here. Okay. Let's go back in the alleyway. Maybe if we, since we stole that radio, the guy's gonna be back looking for it or something. I think that whoever is in that dumpster is going to be probably the last witness. I guess they didn't have any security camera or anything, because the actual guy who owns the pawn shop had nothing to say about the burglar. Never saw them, so... One home? Whoa, look at that.
Probably hasn't worked in years. Hey, there are batteries in here.
Oh. Cool. Stick some batteries, I guess. I could have sworn there was like a weird note or something that's in one of these trash piles. I remember playing it when I was a kid. Ooh, a shard of glass there.
Glass must have come from that broken window. Now we're starting to get somewhere. The texture of the pavement surface is... Looks like whoever broke into Rook's window left one of his hairs behind. Apparently our burglar is a carrot top.
Red hair. Alright, getting more clues.
The empty bottles of chocolate. These are empty jumbo-sized cans of...
So much chocolate soup laying around here.
Well, obviously the window was broken from the outside.
Got the shoe print there. And the
Baby
wrapper.
rum wrapper looks like it was left recently. Yep, still warm.
Baby rum. And it might also the demo. I just have a vivid memory of the demo having like a little note laying in the trash somewhere you had to find. That was that whole hunting for the pixel thing. But it might also been a kind of like a shortcut sometimes with the demos.
The empty bottles of...
They would do that to, you know, since the demo might not even let you play anymore. So they have to, like, you know, ridiculously place something that doesn't normally belong. Don't see any other interactive objects here except just scenery. Good evening, Sucro. Welcome. Walking around an alleyway here looking at trash. Wait, we may have to take use a hint system here now, actually, just so we don't get stuck. I'm going to save again, though, first. Remittance? I'm going to take care of something real quick here. Sorry. Oh, all right. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we can use the hint system too. We've looked at it, so we now know that the perpetrator is a size 14 shoe, has bright green eyes, tattoo of an anchor, norm Caucasian, AB negative blood, and has red hair. What we don't know is the size and weight, and that's kind of the kicker I think that we need now. I could have sworn there's a witness in here, but not interactive. Interactive mode. Spin up that CD.
Man.
I think there's supposed to be someone else in there that we haven't seen yet. We can go talk to... Got enough points now. Fire.
Well, that steep staircase looks...
Oh, look at that. All right, well, we'll walk up here then.
Hey, this door's just painted on.
Oh. I had a break there. See how fast it runs here and tries to run into this whole alley here. Boy. Again, we're running a 640 by 480, which is a stretch for this computer. I mean, this is a Pentium 166. You wouldn't normally have this kind of fidelity here. That right there. I think. Yeah. Like a 3D anchor for the gutter. Anything else there?
What else can I help you with, Murphy?
Murphy?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Fast everything here.
It makes me mad as hell.
No one's been in to eat there yet. Because there was other people I could ask, like the Sal guy. But I don't think he was showing up, because he wasn't in the pizzeria with the lady, and he wasn't in the diner. I'm not sure where he is. But the game is kind of tiered like this. You kind of hang around in one area first, and then you move on later as you progress in the game.
What can I... He's one of the few norms besides you who's eaten here. Seems like it.
All right, we might take a hint now. Let's see. Hint. Getting the bum in the alley to show up. The last thing I need to do is... do that. Leave the alley through the fence or through ropes. Go back to the alley. I thought I did that. I think that he's going to be able to crack the case. I like that it has a hint system like that built in, because, you know, you don't have to use it, but have the option there. There he is. Ooh. So I literally had to walk in here and he was there. Ah. Alright. Give us some information about the perp. Oh, he needs some syrup, huh?
What do you want?
Hmm?
Looks like you're busy drowning your troubles, my good man.
And syrup.
Well, Mr. High and Mighty, what are you, a preacher or something?
It sounds like a lot of people have played this game, too.
No, I'm just a man like you, who's been down on his luck.
Look at me. I'm crying. Now, what is it you want?
Fine.
I just want to ask a few questions. First, did you see anything strange last night?
The strangest thing I've seen recently is you trying to get information from me for free.
Yeah, no, Killing Moon is interesting, like, you know... Okay, well, can you...
Oh, no. Not you again. Look, I'll warn you right now. I'm almost out of chocolate syrup, and I'm not in a good mood.
You know, I just might have something that would improve your ugly mood.
Is that so? Well, what?
Oh, good question. Probably need chocolate. I had a radio, but I think the radio broke after I took the batteries out, so it's just supposed to get the...
Well, that's not gonna cut it, punk.
A balloon?
Well, that's not gonna cut it, punk.
A clown doll?
Come on, that's crap.
I need chocolate syrup, I'm guessing. So where do I get chocolate syrup?
This isn't a good time for a social gulp.
Well, I think the Chocoholics Anonymous could do wonders for you.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
How do you get lost before you eat that chocolate-colored hat of yours?
I need to find some chocolate then. So where do I buy some chocolate? Yeah, exactly. That's the menu settings we saw earlier, which I think you can direct from here. Gives you a lot of options to configure the game. Tons of them. And of course, you can see it at the top right corner. It decides the memory height you have available, and that can determine some of your quality settings. Like I'm running at a 64x480, which is basically like cranked, right? It's the max we can go. Interesting enough, you can go with a freaking vertical. Interesting. And you can go lower. We have the max everything, which is arguably running pretty sluggish. There's no denying that. But, I mean, it's fine. I would have played, and we have played the game so far just fine. And I would have played it that way, too. I need to find some chocolate syrup, then. Can I, can't even get him to talk at all.
This isn't a good time.
What do you mean, go and...
How do you get lost?
I have to make an offer, but he needs chocolate, obviously. So we need chocolate syrup. So where do we get chocolate syrup? Or chocolate in general. Hopefully not just laying on the ground. There's no store here. I'm going to take another hint or something now to get stuck. I'm trying to think of where... Is my gun laying around here anywhere? No? I'll ask and see. Because we have the diner. They might have chocolate, so we can look there. Oh, the first one, I would think. Lunch, diner, ruin stew. Because the pizza place probably doesn't. We can go and ask. Not sure if we got that now as a dialogue option to ask, because otherwise...
Too bad you don't like fresh brains, mate. Hot off the grill.
Chocolate. There we go.
You want to try a slice of my chocolate pie?
There we go. Thank
I
you.
can
Good
give
tip.
you a piece to go if you like.
Oh, there we go. I just gave it to me. Have the chocolate. Make the bum happy here now. All coming together. I remember playing these point-and-click adventure games, not necessarily the FMV ones, but playing point-and-click adventure games as a kid, and you find a thing, right? And especially now, this is a built-in hint system. Many other point-and-click adventure games, you were kind of just on your own. You had to figure it out, or maybe you got a magazine that had the information, right? It was hard to say.
This isn't a good time.
Okay.
I don't make a...
Oh, hold on.
Do I have something for you?
Praise heaven! You've brought the ambrosia of life. Ask me anything you want.
Chocolate? Yeah. Burglary, please.
I saw someone prowling
Oh,
around
there
the
we
back
go.
of the pawn shop last night. It was so dark, I didn't get a good look at him, but I could tell he was huge. Probably 6'3" or 6'4", about 300 pounds.
There we go. That helps us a lot. Now we have shoe size, eyes, tattoo, location normal, EB negative, red hair, 6'3" or 6'4", and 300 pounds. So we might be able to use the crime computer at this point. We'll see.
Wish I could help.
It probably has nothing else to say.
He leaves me alone. Can't ask for more than that. I think Chelsea used to fancy me, till she found out my only true love was chocolate. Damn near broke her heart.
Acting.
Nice guy. Good cook. Every National Feed a Bum Day, he brings me one of his award-winning chocolate pies. Ugh. I don't have much to do with her. They don't serve anything with chocolate in it at the pizza joint.
Chocoholic, yeah.
The only time I ever see Sal is when he gets drunk and comes by to pick a fight. Then I kick his butt and send him on his way. That big goon, he used to hassle me until I shared a quart of chocolate syrup with him. Now he lets me alone.
Nice way to dodge the, or like at least...
Oh. I stay out of politics.
Fine.
Sorry, can't help you with that.
Okay, let's try the crane computer now. Travel to text office. Go to. Video of him walking, alright. Let's take a look and see what we got now. I'm glad I wrote it down because I don't think it told you any of this stuff, so. Crack the case if we can. Okay, Caucasian male. Oh, we kept it here too. So 6 there. And we have red hair. 1 person. That's convenient. Lem Mickey, Caucasian, 300 green, blah, blah, blah. Anchor tattoo on right arm. Lots of sentences here. Burglary, mail fraud, attempt extortion. Oh my. Grand theft speeder, importing illegal novelty items. The whereabouts of Mick Flem are unknown at this time. The SFFF PD are interested in questioning him about the recent disappearance and suspect a murder of Rusty Clown. It is likely that Flem and Rusty were working together when Flem was arrested for illegally importing Asian novelty items. Flem may have murdered Rusty to get revenge for letting him take the fall. This theory has been supported by street informant Beak Naris, who claims to have seen Flem within the past few weeks. Naris reports seeing Flem in an extremely intoxicated state, apparently hallucinating, saying that Rusty Clown Ghost was out to get him. Oh, looks like a guy. Cool. My question is, how do we get him? Go to a police station, I guess, and tell them about the case. Maybe. We'll see. Crowd.
Can't you find...
I don't mean...
Sure you are.
I wish.
Well, here I...
Yeah. So I have the information now. I know who he is. So who do I... Oh, I guess I just go back and talk to him and... Brooks Pawn Shop. talk to him, I guess, since I know who it is now.
What now, Murphy?
That was pretty fast, too.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
I don't know anything. I don't know it. I don't know it.
Okay, you don't know anything about that, so who knows then? I guess we can ask the newspaper lady. She seems to know a little bit of everything. Now we know who it is. We just gotta figure out a way to catch him. Okay, can't help there.
Oh, yeah, I know Beach.
Oh,
If you want to talk to him, you might try hanging out around Coit Tower.
convenient.
Oh, I remember Rusty. He had a kid show on TV when I was young. I hated the
That's
show.
really convenient.
That clown makeup always
Magazine
scared
called
me.
Death in the background there. Alright, let's go to Coit Tower. But you can almost, I would say, you can almost see the green screen showing up on the character. Sometimes you can see that when they, you know, remove them from the background or keyframe them out. You can have a little bit of a tint left on them from the lighting.
I walk up the steps to Coit Tower and spot a small figure lurking in the shadows. In the half-light, I can see only the person's profile, but it's definitely Beak. As I walk towards him, he glances around, then approaches me warily, like a vegetarian sizing up a pot pie.
Touché. I'll see what it's called, Beak.
You must be Beak Nerys.
Huh? Yeah, that's me. But I ain't smelled you before.
All coming together now. We'll solve this crime.
I'm a friend of Chelsea Bando. She told me I could probably find you nosing around up here.
Yeah, Chelsea. Good egg. Nice looker. So, what do you want?
She said you might give me a lead on who robbed Rook's pawn shop.
Maybe yeah, maybe no. What you gonna give me
Oh,
for the
goodness.
info?
Well,
Okay, I can use this.
there we go.
My nose has started sagging lately. Makes it hard to breathe.
It worked out.
kind of
Good thing I
info
had
you
that.
looking for,
Yeah, surgery gift certificate. Ask about McFlam.
McFlam's rap sheet would take a day to read. He's a fat scum, and he's an idiot to boot. That's why he's always getting caught. He's been busted
Oh,
for
he's in the
burglary,
warehouse
mail
right here. Well,
fraud,
that's
arson,
convenient.
You name it. Everyone knows he operates out of the Snow White warehouse, but don't tell him.
We just need to get in there then.
Rook's pawn shop was robbed by a two-bit crook named Mick Flam. He and his
Good thing we're just finding that out
girlfriend
now. He
knocked off
knows.
half a dozen pawn shops over the past month. The girl goes to a pawn shop and hawks a bracelet for a decent amount of cash.
Broke the
Then
case. Yeah, we
Flam
did it.
breaks into the pawn shop and
Gotta
steals
figure out
the
how to get through
bracelet,
this now, because I'm
along
going to
with
get into
anything else
warehouse.
he finds.
I have the key, but I'll open now.
I haven't got any info on that. Chelsea, smart girl and a real looker to boot. She's got a cute little nose.
I guess I enjoy when it's FMV like this. It has kind of like a, you know, the dad level joke and also just a bit of a glimmer in the eye, as it were, and not too serious. The ones that are trying to be super scary and stuff like that just aren't, I don't know, they don't click as much for
She
me.
runs that pizza place with her husband, Sal. I don't know much about her. A true
Lots
Italian
of nose
nose,
jokes.
though. He lets his wife run the pizza joint. I don't know what he does, though I've heard some things about who he does. You can tell he drinks a lot by that snaz of his.
Yeah, that's the thing. Always when you find stuff and not grab it right, and it's I try and be a little selective in the games I pick up. Usually when I find a game under, you know, especially under 10 or something, 10 to 20, I often like, just kind of grab it for the sake of grabbing it. If you get higher than that, then it becomes kind of like, you know, unless it's something rare. But at the same time, like, you can't get everything, right? So
I can't help you there.
probably don't have much else to say.
Big trouble. It's causing mutant blood to... Oh, I'm nobody. I'm just trying to keep my nose. I think he's dead, and I'll bet Mick Flam had something to do with it. Word was the two of them were smuggling illegal novelty items from Hong Kong, and Rusty...
All right, well, we got what we need here now. We just need to get to the warehouse, which might be open now. Look at that. Acme Warehouse. Is that the same one? Oh, it's open now. That's convenient. See if we're going to get, like, shot here now, because the perpetrator might be here.
If this is Mick Flem's hangout, he'll probably be back soon. I better try and set some sort of trap for him.
There we go. We're going to do, like, a freaking Rube Goldberg machine here. We're going to save, though. All right. I'm going to hit the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm drinking a lot of soda. So you get to watch this lovely scene. I'll be right back. And we're back. Did you guys solve the case? Alright, now we need to build some sort of, like, fun little Rube Goldberg machine here, I'm sure. Take a look. What do we got in here? Bottle.
Yummy. A bottle of turnip schnapps. I'll bet it's got a real kick.
Oops. Can't take that. So we gotta put something up here, I'm sure, on the ladder. Yeah, I mean, I think that all of us have gotten rid of games. Some point. And for me, the biggest thing has been... I haven't traded that many games, I've gotten rid of it, but there was, I think I mentioned before, and this wasn't, you know, anyone else's fault, but at some point when we moved, I was living with my parents still, I had put the big box games that I had in, like, black, like, trash bags. Or to see this, where this is bad. Oh, key. And then at some point, during one of the moves later on, when someone else was cleaning, at least one of those trash bags must have gotten thrown away, because I'm missing a whole bunch of different games, including Theme Hospital, Settlers 2. Those are probably the ones that are most important for me in that bunch. We had A4 Networks, a bunch of other big box games like that that are now gone. And, you know, I've been not necessarily buying them back, because some of them are ones I might want back, and some are not. I'm not too worried about them, right, to have them again. But the ones that are like Theme Hospital, things like that, they're really expensive. Yeah. It's just like not worth it, kind of. It's here.
Locked.
Oh, well, I have a key here, so that might be useful. Look at that.
The sound is coming from up on the landing. Looks like the on-off switch controls a pulley hook. It's It's running back and forth along a track.
Okay. Probably use that. So what can we hang up on there? I'm gonna drop on him Acme style. Alright, Suka. Appreciate you stopping by. Go get some rest. You had a long day, so. Alright, so what can we hang there that's gonna. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's like you can't keep everything, and it's alright, right?
Locked.
Okay, do I have another key here?
Well, that's not gonna.
Okay. What can we hang from that thing? What I got here? Oh, the clown. I bet I could scare the bejeebus out of that guy. Oh. Movement is kind of a little jerky here now.
That rusty doll isn't gonna scare Flem unless I can get it to move around somehow.
I know, I can.
That rusty...
I can move it. Okay, fine. I gotta turn it on first then. Also, one time I picked up big box. Had a local place where that's where I grabbed a whole bunch of big boxes. I made a video on that years ago now. They also had like a huge box of just random manuals, and I realized afterwards a lot of the boxes I picked up were missing. I think that if I would have given them like 20 bucks for that whole huge box of manuals, they would have given it to me. But I like, you know, they had price lists on everything, and I just didn't. I had my kid with me. I didn't feel like dealing with it at the time. And I realized back, I should just like offer it like, hey, 100 bucks, I'll take all the stuff you have, and then just kind of sort it through it. And lesson learned, I suppose. So.
That rusty doll isn't gonna scare Flem unless I can get it to move around somehow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to go to that place again. If we do come for VCF East, I'll definitely have to check that out again. No denying that.
Can't get over how lifelike this doll is. If it didn't have a hook on the back and a battery compartment, I'd swear it was Rusty himself.
Oh. Combine batteries. There we go. Oh, God. Jesus. All right, now we're going to put that up on the hook there. Turn it off so I can actually get on there. Here there's a guy with a freaking animatronic clown. But yeah, that place is just so great. And it's fun to, I mean, yeah, I found a few nice games there, but most of it was just kind of, not necessarily filler, but not that we're just like amazing. But it's a fun thing to mess with.
Luckily, my rusty trap's all set. I'll need to find a hiding place as close as possible to the pulley control box. When Flem least expects it, I'll throw the pulley lever and bring Rusty back from the dead.
Yeah, that's creepy. Ah. I'm hidden here, I think. Too bad the mouse is just here, yeah. There he is. He. Oh. Guess he dropped a bracelet there. Oh, convenient. And keys. Solve the case. In the strong box.
Is too sturdy to break open. I'll need the key.
I have the key from the alley. Look at that. Yeah, that must have been the Wilhelm scream, right?
What do we have here? Unless I miss my guess, this is jade. It's good quality, too.
Nice. Maybe pawn that then. Alright, let's go return the thing. Or I think we cracked the case. Alright, we're making some... I like the fact that it has a hint system. Like, you can use it.
Telling you?
Oh.
It's impossible.
We progress in this plot
Can't
now.
be done. I've tried everything.
The prophecy is very clear.
Oh, he's also in
Can't
Thomas
go
and the
on
Magic
till the
Railroad,
step
I
is
think.
completed. Surely your unique skills give you opportunity.
My ability has gotten us nowhere. Capricorn got there before me.
Plot thickens.
They're always one step ahead of me. It's like they can read my mind.
We can't let them stop us. Maybe we can use your skills on someone else.
I like the fact there's no, like, worrying about
And if he hasn't gotten
the spots
himself
they're standing
killed,
in and everything. It's just like, they're just kind of winging it.
Murphy. Tex Murphy.
Name of the... Yep. The, voice there sounded familiar, too. Nice. You know, they had a vision for this series, and it kind of makes me want to play the other ones, too.
I feel better today than I've felt in a long time.
All right.
Boy, did I stun Rook when I walked in and handed him that bracelet. Okay, so getting the bracelet back doesn't make me Detective of the Year, but it does stimulate the confidence glands. Maybe I can succeed at this.
I'm
business
really
and turn
drinking
my
coffee
career
here, for
around.
real.
But if I'm gonna do that, I better do something about my fax machine. Who knows how many new opportunities I've
Yeah,
missed
so you have the Martian Memorandum, which is the first one. Under Killing Moon. I think then it's Pandora Directive, then Overseer. And then now the most recent one is Tesla Effect, maybe? I don't know if there's another one after Overseer. I thought that Pandora Directive was before. Because you look on the back out of it here, it says, from the creator of Adventure Games of the Year, Under Killing Moon, and the Pandora Directive. So I think that we're playing now the second game. This would be the third... No, this is the fourth game then. Okay, so yeah, 4 original ones. So you had Martian Memorandum, which is definitely harder to find and more expensive. You have Under Killing Moon, Pandora Directive, Overseer, and then now the latest one, Tesla Effect, which is kind of like a callback to this. There might be another one too, I'm not sure. Alright, now we just need to look at the mail. We should have gotten our... Yep, there's our credit card. Alright.
My own personal credit card. I'll need this to get in the electronics shop next door.
Alright. Crack the case.
The office was actually a...
Don't have any, throw a gun out the window, of course, so...
That's a perfect bed for a destitute PI. Small, lightweight, no sheets required.
And we gotta go fix our fax machine. We can get more, or better... Goodness. Actual jobs. Real jobs. Talk. Alright. Ladder. Woo! The movement is still a little wonky. Like, I mean, this is an early full 3D engine, right? And I mean, again, that they went for making that this kind of thing in 94 speaks to how much they were going all in on the 3D stuff. Alright. Please insert card. Okay.
Well, that's not gonna work. Well, that's not gonna work. This is the brand new electronic shop outlet. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. So...
This is the brand new... Well, that's not gonna... Well, that's not gonna work. Well, that's not gonna...
Please insert card. Ha! CD switching time. We're going on disc 3 now. Progressing. Again, you could have multiple CD drives and then designate them so you could just do this quicker. But I'd be willing to bet that 99% of people playing this game back then did not have multiple drives. They can just swap like that at their leisure. One hint so far, so I remember parts of this game at least. We're progressing, like we're getting somewhere.
This electronic shop outlet has just moved into the neighborhood.
A couple things.
I've heard that the manager's name is Ham Underwood. Everyone knows they sell overpriced junk, but it is convenient.
This is a dynamic mic that has a pattern, polar pattern that goes to here, right? It's basically targeting a cone. The speakers are pretty far back. They're sitting like, you know, they're pretty quiet. If I were to crank it, I also have a noise gate on, so if I stop talking, like, it goes quiet. I have to make a certain amount of noise for it to trigger, and then I have a noise canceling on, and also there's a compressor on. So those three things combined really quiet on the microphone, and also it is a, you know, I have to have it really close, because if I talk over here, you can hear it already kind of. I got to be real close to the microphone, and that's kind of the strength of having the dynamic microphone like that, because it is going to pick up in a pretty short range, so we have to have it really close. So that's kind of how I figured to do that anyway, and it's worked so far, so it allows me to want to do that. Ian William, thanks for stopping in. Nice. Yeah, well, I feel like we have to play those two at some point now, because, yeah, I do have Overseer here, but yeah, I do not own the Pandora Directive. I may have to get that at some point here. I need a fax machine. Looks like a nice salesman there.
Hi there, how can I help you?
I just came by to welcome you to the neighborhood. My name's Tex.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Underwood. So, what can I do for you?
Do you have fax machines?
Essential office stuff.
Sure do. In fact, there's one older model in the blue light special box.
Oh, okay.
I tried not to stare, but it threw me off when I saw how cross-eyed Ham Underwood is. I'll have to keep in mind that anything he says is on the left is probably on the right.
There it is. So how can I get this now?
I can't get that while the force field is up.
Force field?
I can't get...
Can I buy it then? Alright, appreciate you stopping by. Have a good evening. Here we go. Got a fax machine. Easy. Anything else in here? Is that a nuclear-powered corn cob there? Some Oculus headsets?
Vox TV with remote crab speakers. Kids infrared visors.
Yeah, they're visors.
They stopped making these about 50 years ago, and they're still overstocked. Yum, an imitation chocolate keyboard. The perfect Valentine gift for that special computer nerd. A remote control flying saucer, huh? It's so old it's turning to dust.
Can move them. Oh.
Now that's interesting. Looks like an
Alien pineapple. Really? There was a newer one, right? There was one that came out like a couple of years ago. Tesla Effect, that must be the older one I'm thinking of. But there was one that literally came out here a couple of... It can't have been in 14, right? Wasn't there a newer one?
A teeny disc tote box. Too bad they quit making teeny discs 10 years ago. The Rodent Tracker 8000.
Rodent Tracker.
It's like on TV. Because household pests never build up an immunity to bullets.
Wow. Just filled this place here, but I'm not sure if anything is any relevance.
Looks like some kind of space chicken. Oh, a drive-through teller tube. Everyone should have at least one of these around the
Drive-through
house.
or tube? It could be Virtual Boy. What stuff did they cram in here?
Ah, it's the plasma ball, the season's hottest new toy. Unfortunately, it cost $18,039.99.
Tesla Effect is because that was the Tesla Effect was kind of like a crowdsourced return. Can't believe it was that long ago. 14, wow. I mean, I got it on like a bundle sale, I think, for a Humble Bundle. It was pretty cheap.
This is something called Future Crate. It must hold more stuff than plain old crates. Various connectors.
Oh, we got our...
Looks like a core sample from an old sofa. Ooh, Plan 9 flying saucers. Very cool. An old 1286 with an ancient super-duper Wowzer VGA monitor.
Nice. That's right, Mean Street was a... Okay, right, Mean Street was first. Yeah, in that order that Mike Boy listed there, but I could have sworn that Tesla Effect was later,
That's
but yeah,
either a
clearly
model of
not.
a space station or a 4-pack of mineral water. This must be the new 10-key laser printer pop-up toaster unit. I don't know what this
writing
is,
this
but
stuff.
it's got a real nice handle.
Kind of doubt it. Usually the GOG ones are more like XP era, right? You might be able to like extract the files and then just copy them. Like if there's a directory in there, probably has a wrapper or something. They might have the original game files in there, and you can basically just move them to a Windows 98 machine. But I don't think you can usually install them straight up. At least from what I've heard or understand. I haven't seen it. But it should not be hard to source them either. You can always buy them and then source them or elsewhere as well. Or finding just a loose CD is probably not that expensive either if you want to go that route, but...
You have a fax. You have a
As soon as I hook up the new fax machine, a fax prints out. Oh, finally. Maybe this is a real case. The kind you get paid for.
A fax. Of a fax.
A fax addressed to Tex Murphy from the Countess Rainier.
Ooh. Dear Mr. Murphy, you have been recommended to me as someone capable of handling delicate matters with both competence and discretion. I am prepared to pay you handsomely in exchange for your services. I would prefer to give you details in person. I do not wish to seem impertinent, but time is of the essence. Please meet me at my residence as soon as possible. The address is 1329 Fillmore, Pacific Heights. Countess M. Reiner. Oh my. I better go there right away. Real case. I mean, I like that it has this kind of style of
Countess Rainier.
gameplay. You have a mixture then between point and click,
Hopefully she doesn't want
full
to hire me
FMV
to
stuff
find
and
her
everything.
lost poodle. As I land my speeder, I see my dream house, only bigger. The butler is a tall, thin man, about 70. He tells me the Countess is expecting me and shows me into a large, lavishly furnished drawing room.
We're in the big leagues now.
Countess Rainier, please have a seat.
Stop, animate.
Thank you.
Stop, animate. These sections here look really good, I think, even upscale. Like, they're very smooth and everything.
No one is born old, Mr. Murphy. Now, shall we discuss our business while we're still young?
Sassy.
Oh, by all means. Pardon my interruption.
Your services have been recommended to me by a trusted
Be curious to see what they're actually sitting on, since it's all green screen. Like, what are they actually sitting on? I would love to see this, like, behind-the-scenes shot here.
Are what I need right now.
Which of my unique abilities are you referring to?
I'm sure you have many unique abilities. The one I would hire you for is your talent of locating people and things. I've been told this talent has made you some friends and many enemies.
Well, correct me if
Oh,
I'm
wow,
wrong,
that's nice. You
Countess,
get
but
all
wasn't
four
it
there.
Roy Rogers who
Huh.
once said,
Yeah, that's cool.
You can't please all the people all the time.
Yeah,
Save
probably.
your
It's-
home
They're
space
leaning back,
for
so I assume there's a,
global woman.
you know, green
What I'm
boxes with a
asking you
backrest,
to
I guess.
do
But
may make you very unpopular with some people.
it's just funny because it's, you know, easy for them to render this as a,
Are we talking here?
Let me give you
like,
some
not having
background
real furniture.
information, then you can decide for yourself. Some time ago, a family heirloom was stolen from this bungalow. I do keep most of my valuables on my estate in Europe, but on this visit, I brought the piece to show a friend. Within hours of my arrival, I found it stolen, and I have made extensive inquiries trying to retrieve it, but I found
Sounds
out
like you
nothing.
need PI
I'm
and text
sure you
Murphy.
have more resources, talking about cash, than I do. You should be able to buy all the information you need. What makes you think that
I like
can
that that's
help?
progressing here without me
No, I
having to ask
don't.
questions, I guess. But
I remembered what my friend had told me about you after I had exhausted every other option.
oh, the FMV era. There's
You know,
studio
referring to
lighting
me as
changing
your
there as he
last
walks
option
around.
Could automatically double my fee.
I already planned on paying you much more than your usual fee. I'm a wealthy young woman, Mr. Murphy. To give you an idea, the stolen artifact alone
I'll
is worth more
brag
money
some
than
more,
I
I
could
guess.
earn in 10 lifetimes.
Oh, we'll see about that when I win the clearinghouse sweepstakes.
How quaint. Let's not waste any more time. I need some work done, and I'll pay you well for it.
Well, in my
Yeah, most of
experience,
when I'm
getting
thinking
paid
FMV, at
well
least from
is
my
a
experiences,
relative
was
term.
Command and Conquer. Because I mean,
Your obsession with money
I
is
gobbled those up just
appalling.
when waiting in between each
Oh, I
mission.
have any number of Apollo traits, but I am a good
to see
PR.
like what the next cutscene was,
Well,
right?
if
So,
you prove to be as good
which I mean,
as you
yeah, they're
think you are,
FMVs. Like I would say,
pay
the
you
original Command and Conquer, Red Alert, all those
$30,000
they used, you know, FMV Bonanza.
Well, let me think about it. Okay, I'll do it. In fact, I'll even mow your lawn at no charge.
Try to control yourself, Mr. Murphy. I'll expect you to focus all of your energies on this job, and the methods you use to retrieve the artifact are of no interest to me. But as more time elapses, the less likely it is that the item will be found, and for that reason, I must require you to find it and to return it to me within 1 week. And after
pressure.
that, there will be no finder's fee available to you.
Do you pay time and a half after 40 hours? That's a joke.
Good joke.
I have stated my conditions. As to the
And we got
artifact
progress in the
itself,
story here
it
and a
is
whole bunch of
beautiful
extra
statuette made of
FMVs here going
crystal
on.
and shaped in the form of a bird. It has been in my
Nice.
family for countless generations, and as I said,
Yeah, that's
it
right,
is
the Journeyman Project. I remember that. I remember seeing that in
There are many
magazine ads.
collectors
It's
who
funny
would
because it
stop
sparks
at
certain
nothing
memories looking at some of these
Whoever
magazine
stole
ads
the
from the
statuette
90s and
would
seeing the big
undoubtedly
boxes
have
for
gone
games
to the
like
black market
one I always
and
was like
offered it to the highest
Answer
bidder.
General, for example. I don't have it. I don't
think
really
I
have a
saw that
desire to own it, I
statuette you're
suppose, but I remember seeing it in all the
Someone was
magazines. I
selling it
remember
on the
seeing the
Home
Journeyman
Shopping
Project ones too.
Boy, I had no idea it was so expensive.
You make jokes, but you cannot possibly know how rare and valuable the statuette is.
Mm.
And now that you have all the necessary information, we'll end this charming visit. Don't bother contacting me until you have the statuette in your possession. And if you are successful in your search,
Speaking of
it could change my
like this.
opinion of you considerably.
As Journeyman
My
Project
valet
3
will
that I
give you
picked
a
up pretty
retainer of
recently.
$1,000 on your way out. Goodbye, Mr. Murphy.
But I haven't
didn't
played
tell
any
the
of them at
Count,
all,
but I
so-
would have done damn near anything for $30,000. Now I've got to find a link to the black market. How hard can it be?
Time to talk to Chelsea. Street and newsstand. Go to. It's got to have a black market connection, right? Right? Hopefully it doesn't have me go back to the original CD now. Should still be on the CD, I would think. It's just like you forget it. Again, there's so many memories unlocked by like, okay, you see a certain box or hear of a certain game, like, oh yeah, that one. You know, there were so many of them. And you think like, oh, I have so many, but there's always more. It's just crazy. You forget the entire series until you see it somewhere. All right.
Hey, I heard you took care of Rook. Pretty impressive.
Modest but manly.
Oh, it was nothing. Just another day at the office.
You know, Tex, it must take quite an effort to be lonely, broke, and still so smug.
don't like being broke. Why don't you lay off the insults and help me find some work?
And stop animate and move.
Sorry, Dex. Look, I'm just kidding ya. You know I'll tell you if I hear of anything.
I'd appreciate it.
It is pretty,
So, is there something you came to ask
But
me
again,
about?
these scenes here look really clean. Like, you could... This here now is like almost still imagery, but then they cut to certain ones. I'm assuming it's just they have to zoom in so much that the model gets just so bad, but... Okay, let's see.
Apparently, it's a real hot item. The top
Franco Franco.
commodities dealer in the city is named Franco Franco.
And where's Franco Franco?
He probably either has the statuette or knows who has it.
Convenient.
I don't know how you're going to find him, but if you do, be careful.
Okay. We need to find Franco Franco then. I guess that's it. Let's ask at the pawn shop.
Judas Murphy, can't you find something else to do besides bothering me?
Yes, say it solved your crime.
Big time crook.
Yeah.
Deals with a lot of smuggled artifacts and the like. He's pretty well connected with the mob and black market here in San Francisco.
And I would find him where?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know it.
Fine. Can I go talk to the informant, maybe? He seemed pretty knowledgeable if he's still there. I guess he got his nose job now. But, he's an FBI informant, I think, right? They said earlier. So, let's see if he's still here. Oh. We're in between now. Where, you know, they probably tried to plan it so you don't have to swap as much on, like, what videos are on what CD. But, yeah, here we are. Disc 4. Moving into the big leagues now. That is 4 out of 4. Interesting enough, the Overseer actually has a DVD pack in. So it has 5 CDs plus the DVD. If you play the DVD version, the video quality is higher. And it's all on one disc. Versus the CD, then, of course, it's on 4.
Well, you see my new nose. I'm so excited. I'm gonna look and feel like a new man.
Well, that's swell, Beak. Hope you're feeling grateful enough to answer some more questions.
Yeah, sure. Anything.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so... Franco.
I've heard his name in connection with some smuggling and illegal importing.
Ah, fine.
I don't know anymore. I haven't got any info on that.
Too bad.
I can't help you there.
So that was a dead end then. I don't think there's anything else I want to ask this guy about. Alright, fine. Okay. So he didn't know anything else. Feel like there's going to be something going on here with...
I heard that Ardo shuts the place down every once in a while to do fire safety upgrades. Maybe he's painting fire extinguishers in all the rooms.
So that's shut down. Anything else in the warehouse? We still have the Jade? Yeah, we do. Suppose I can pawn that, but I guess I don't need any cash right now. Let's ask around some more and see if we can find someone who knows anything about... Maybe we need to find some dirt on Sal so that she can divorce him. We'll ask at the pizza place. I doubt that they would know. I can also go to the police and ask, since they maybe are happy now. Yeah, now we get the thing that where games like this really kind of suffer, and that's where you're hopping around and, you know, you're right in between different discs. But what this tells me probably is that this lady does not have anything for us now because it's on the same disc, so... That would be pretty funny if you can build a FMV machine that way, to have like 4 drives or something, but... So this game lets you select in the configuration which one goes to which.
What can I get for you?
Oh, that's okay. I just had a filling meal of saltines and water. I just stopped by to ask a few questions.
Do many other FMV games let you do multiple drives like that?
Sorry. Can't.
Yeah, I figured I wouldn't know anything about it. Fine, we'll go to the cops then and ask them. Okay. Figured most of them probably would understand. Oh, there we go. Would understand that that's something you would want to do. And in this case here, this will save a lot of time. We've done disc swaps now, where I'm just kind of checking stuff out of what I need to do, right? And we've done like 3 disc swaps here now in short order. Come on. I'll put the drive disc in there.
Hey, Murphy,
Yeah.
guess what? We got the guy who robbed those pawn shops. Turned himself in. Can you believe it? Kept babbling some about a clown coming back from the dead to haunt him.
Actually, I know all about it. Because I'm the one who put the fear of Rusty in him.
I assume he's not gonna...
Sure you did, Murphy.
Mhm.
What can I do for you? He's a big-time crook. Deals with stolen and
Oh.
illegally imported merchandise, especially jade.
That sounded weirdly recorded. I have Jade now.
Sorry, Murphy. Can't help you with that. Geez, Tex, you think I know about everything? Sorry, Murphy. He was a wacko who had a kid show on TV years ago. He quit the TV biz and opened a novelty shop somewhere in the mutant section. Word is, he got involved with the illegal novelty trade and got himself killed. He disappeared months
Weird,
ago.
like, recording. They're having a...
Meek's a real valuable contact on the street, but he doesn't come cheap. I've been okay. Little indigestion now and again, but nothing serious.
I can't tell if this looks like a real desk here, right? Or they just have photo in post of a stock photo or something. Like, this here doesn't look CGI. If you look in the middle here, it just looks like a real desk.
Some of the cops here at the station joined the crusade. None of them work here anymore. I don't take much stock in religious movements, but it sure turned those guys into fanatics.
Got a lot to say
Of
here.
course I know the Colonel. Didn't he teach you the business? He's the best PI I've ever worked with. No offense. We scratch each other's backs. He's been busy with some cases.
Oh,
and
I have
haven't
one
seen him
last
for a few
case.
weeks. Can't help you with... Geez, Tex, you think...
Alright, fine. So we have the Jade now. So we can go ask her there. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by. I'm winding down a little earlier now. I guess a lot of other streamers going on right now too, but I figured this is not a game that's going to draw, and that was the thing. With streaming an FMV game is a little risky, I think. I found that, at least from a crowd perspective, the tinkering stream seems to draw the most. I have another one in mind I have to do here soon, prepare for a LAN party. Oh, ask about the Jade here with her.
What's going on?
Okay. We'll ask the pawn shop owner then. I don't think I can ask the Baroness.
What else can I help you with, Murphy?
Oh, now he's nice.
You know, I subscribe to a trade paper called Jewelry Weekly. In the last issue, it seems to me I saw an advertisement by someone named Franco, who was looking to buy jade. There
Oh,
wasn't anything of
so
interest in the
Franco
trade
Franco
paper,
is the
so I
one that's the
threw it out.
dealer, and it happened to be something with Franco.
Probably still in the trash can back.
Yeah, anyway, there's a big LAN party coming up, and our little retro group here is going to participate with about 4 of us playing retro games with a big thing. And I need to prep at least 1 machine for that, so I'll probably do a stream with... I want to exit the alley. I need to build out and prep a Windows 95/DOS machine. So we'll probably stream that as I prep that for next week, I'm guessing. We'll see. Then I'm probably going to have to skip the stream the week after that, because that's like the night before that event. Probably in the recycling bin down here, right? And also taking the kids out of town for a couple days. So, oh, look at that. There it is. Zoom in. Full top, pay top dollar trade. Contact Franco at the Alhambra Theater. All right, well, there we go. Now we're going to go to the Alhambra Theater. Information. That's the thing. I like all these kind of games, but you know, it's a different amount of people that show up or whatever for that kind of stuff. And that's
Being a movie
again,
buff,
that's kind of
I've
the
heard of
drawback of
Alhambra
doing
Theater.
random retro. You'd
Well, I
have
heard
so
it
many
was
different
closed
tastes
down
that I have my
years
stream
ago.
for. So
Sure enough, it's boarded up, but one of the back doors is unlocked. As
the
soon as I
FMV
step
games I think
inside,
are
two
really
lugs
interesting,
the
but
size
I
of
also think they kind of
refrigerators grab
suit
me.
better for
I tell them that I have
sitting
something
down
for
and
Mr. Franco,
exploring
and one of
yourself,
them
you know, kind of
walks
thing.
off.
So
He
I get
comes
it.
back a minute later and escorts me into the main theater. A Buster Keaton flick is playing. The place is empty except for a man sitting by himself near the front of the theater.
So they get some information.
Welcome, Mr. Murphy.
Oh.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Franco. Tell me, do you do most of your business in dark theaters?
How and where I do my business is not your concern, Mr. Private Eye. As
Sassy.
I'm sure you know, I'm strictly a legitimate businessman.
Down to business with a bad pun.
Yeah, you may be legit, but I understand you're pretty jaded.
Yeah. Getting in some
yes,
barbs
that
there
I
now.
am. Speaking of which, did you bring the item? Ah, a lovely specimen.
Yep, that's
It will
definitely
make
a
fine
real
addition
jade,
to
I'm
my
sure.
collection.
Yoink. Well,
Now, I will answer one question to the best of my knowledge.
There's a statuette in the shape of a bird that recently came onto the market.
well, that was convenient. Just give him one
You know
question.
who has it?
I know the statuette you're referring to. There were several bidders for it. But I believe it ended up in the hands
And again, you get, you know, E-list actors and even C-list actors or lower than that, right? People that may have just acted for this case, or who knows, they probably grabbed someone like from temporary staffing or something.
Unless, of course, you find another fine piece of jade. You know the way out.
So now we have ask her again. Seems to be connected. But when I call here in a second. Not sure how much more we're gonna get out of this game, but it's still a neat game, and FMV ones are neat to experience, but it's, you know, it's hard maybe to revisit all the time. They also, you're kind of used to loading times, that kind of stuff, and going back to pure actual CD is jarring a little bit now. Do you know about Eddie Ching?
Look, I don't discuss that name, and neither should you. If you want to keep breathing.
Okay. That's the pawn. And I guess that always will go to the cop. Seems like the trio that would know about
Ching is a big man around here, with eyes and ears everywhere. If you go around asking questions about Eddie Ching, you'll find yourself sleeping with a fish real soon.
Oh, really? Go to the cop. Police station.
Back again, eh, Murphy? What can I help you with?
He's all friendly now. I guess we solved the case.
Ching's a dangerous customer. He's responsible for half the crime in the city. Pretty sure he owns the police commissioner. We've been told to lay off him.
Alright, well, not much we can do there, I guess, so. I'd ask around about Eddie Chang, but it doesn't help. We gotta, like, find someone who can help us progress with that, but I'm not sure who else to ask at that point.
Do you have a fax?
Oh,
Do you have
fax.
a fax?
So yes, even in the distant, or not distant future, we're using fax machines here. Franco. Concerning our recent discussion, I have some information you might find helpful. While it won't profit me to tell you this, I would not be entirely unhappy to see Eddie Ching come out of the short end for once. Like most everyone else in this city, I know very little about Ching, but I've been told he lives in a luxurious, high-security apartment building called a Knickerbocker. A number of powerful underworld figures live there. I don't know which apartment Ching lives in, but if you have connections with the police, they may be able to help you. So we got to go back to the police again and ask them about the Knickerbocker.
What now, Seamus?
Knickerbocker.
That place is home to more major crime figures than any other place on the planet. Eddie Ching lives there on the entire top floor.
All right, now we know where he is. Go to.
Looks like no one's home. This is gonna be easier than falling off a horse. This window doesn't want to open up. Maybe if I...
Okay. But they have fun with like the no
I
death
stopped
thing.
bouncing off the awning 2 floors below Ching's place. I realized it'll take more than sheer strength to get into the apartment. Luckily, I noticed something that might help as I bounced by. A sticker on Ching's window said, security system
It's like the
installed
rubber
by
tree in
Underwood
Monkey Island where you think you die. Convenient. Can't get in there yet. But yeah. I think we might call it there. Yeah, it's true. Won't get you in too much trouble, but it's a neat game, to say the least. I think it's a awesome game from the time, or for the time, and I think it still holds up for whatever it's worth. You can play it on modern systems easier now, too, than just playing on an old one like this, but it's just a fantastic slice of, like, nostalgia for that particular era, specifically with the deep in the FMV time period and everything. And, yeah, it's fun. I think this game feels like one of those, like, it's nice to just sit down with a beer or something and, like, just play through and enjoy it. It leads you along a little bit, especially with the hint system and everything, but not much for multiple playthroughs. I mean, last time I played this was, golly, almost, you know, 30 years ago now at this point, right? So, a long time ago. Yeah, this came out in 94, so I played this in 95 or 96, so we're getting up there in that, the amount of time that's been since I played it, so that helps to put some distance between that and, you know, knowing the game or remembering it. But I really enjoyed it when it came out. Just having the kind of like, I don't know, really cool. Just FMV stuff has to be in the right mood for FMV games to begin with, but this one I think is a real keeper in the selection of FMV games we got in the 90s. So, fun game. Definitely check it out. I think it's on GOG, like Mike Boy said earlier. You can get a whole bundle. Otherwise, you can, of course, play it on Retro. So, appreciate hanging out. Thanks for sticking around at Doppler. You're the last person standing here, so I appreciate it. And hopefully have a good weekend. And I'll see you on Discord. And next week, I'll figure out something else to stream. So, have a good one. And go solve some crimes. See you later, and have a good one. Good night.